We should be live, and I'm waiting for people to tell me they don't hear my voice.
Sick.
Oh, now it just popped up. Yeah.
There we go. Oh, excellent.
Taking its time for me.
Yeah. So yeah, we can hear you on the stream. Yeah.
That's the good news. Wonderful. So, how is everyone? Luke, you had any good Christmas presents bought today?
Yeah, me and my parents have spent the entire day doing Christmas shopping at this shopping centre. I've been looking around shops looking for a new jacket, but couldn't find what I was looking for. But we found other stuff, but meant toiletries, books. I've been finding presents for the other family members as well. I've got a few of the things I needed, and I just came in literally half an hour ago, and so we're so tired we decided to sort of sort out tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry, man. You can barely take a rest, and you're already here.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll understand if you can't keep up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the question is, have you all started on your Christmas shopping yet?
Nope.
Oh no, I haven't started mine yet. No.
America's just still waiting for Thanksgiving, I'm sure. And Black Friday.
Well, I mean, America doesn't give a shit about Thanksgiving. We're already jumping into Christmas stuff.
I thought Thanksgiving is like a practice run for Christmas.
Like these days, it feels like once Halloween is over, then all through Thanksgiving, like all through November, it's like, yeah, it's Christmas, Christmas, Christmas.
How fun. Right, Elise isn't here today. She's already to her family to celebrate Thanksgiving as well. So having a whole week about it, I guess.
Ah. So that means guys' night today.
Yep, and just a sausage fest today.
Guys' night.
Oh my.
Oh my. Well, not entirely. Sylvia's kind of here in spirit, but not hosting.
Yeah.
Observing.
Observing
Making sure we behave ourselves. Which is going to be very difficult with Melty.
Impossible to reel that guy in. And Euan, how are you doing today, sir?
Been doing alright. Though it's been very chilly, obviously, but because of the storm that we're having at the moment, it's warmed up a bit. Because, I mean, last night it was about 0 degrees Celsius, or -1.
Yeah, it
but
was
now it's gone up to 12.
Yeah, it was a bit nippy last night, wasn't it?
Very much so. Very much so. I think even a point where there was even a bit of snow.
Yeah, all other places I've heard have got snow. Down here, all we got was rain.
Yeah.
We had a bit of snow as well.
Unfortunate sods.
But yeah, that's just lucky. Snow sucks. Unless you have the day off and you can play in it, then it's fun. But when you actually have to go work, it sucks.
Yeah, so in other words, playing in the snow and not working, go
Well, you go wee if you have to work too, because you slip and fall and slide towards your doom, probably.
Oh, yeah, I've had those days where getting out of the parking lot, it's like, ah, shit, there's ice everywhere, and I'm constantly falling on my ass, yeah. Not fun.
No, not at all. Sala, you feeling better yet?
Yes, quite a bit.
Hey.
Tough couple of weeks with sickness. That's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit bummed out, especially with the comics we covered last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could have been here. I was suffering.
Yeah. I suppose the moment you realised it and you were like, no.
Yeah. I got sick a few days before, and I'm like, oh god, I hope I feel at least good enough for Dissected Alive. And then I woke up that morning, and that was the worst I'd felt the entire time.
Oh boy.
Aw.
So that was just really bad timing, but feeling a lot better. Got a slight cough, but that other than that, I feel fine.
That's good
That's
to
good.
hear. Yeah, you got sick almost the same moment as my wife did, so I wonder if you kind of brought it over each other through streaming or something. Digitally,
Yeah, clearly that's what happened.
Yeah.
we got a computer virus.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
God. The hexadecimal virus.
Yeah. Or the internet virus, yeah.
So, yesterday there was the Sonic and Shadow takeover for Twitter. Anyone wants to talk about that?
Oh, but no, they didn't answer my question.
Yeah,
Oh, what was your question?
No, they didn't ask any of our questions.
Did everyone ask a question? Obviously not Melty, but like
No.
I didn't bother asking. Mostly two reasons. One, I'm not really a fan of the Twitter takeover stuff, and two, I was super busy with trying to organize video projects because I had to delay the Shadow episode that me and Cold are working on. Mainly because, the holidays are coming up, and I kind of learned last year with the 100th episode special. It's like, okay, to save yourself from, being that stressful, don't plan on making big projects during the holidays. Don't do that.
No. But yeah, Luke, what was your question you asked?
Well, I asked Shadow about his opinion on Keanu Reeves' depiction of him in the upcoming third movie and if he'll do him justice. And I asked Sonic, even though the storybook games are no more, what other storybook worlds would you have liked to have gone? But I think they're going to avoid those sort of questions and be like, hey, Shadow, do you like pie? Oh, how fast can you run, Sonic? That sort of thing.
I don't know, that sounds exactly like the type of questions you keep asking. Hey, Euan, what's your question?
I didn't really have a question for them because even though I did have one, the chances of it being picked were 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah,
which is usually the case for mostly everyone else's. They always go for the more popular ones and maybe just the odd one or two lesser known people.
I guess so. Hey, at least one advantage of these Twitter takeovers, since Roger Greg Smith is there, so they can really have Gun Commander show up. It's the same voice actor. Apparently got a cameo in the...
Yeah, I mean, that must have got a bit of a chuckle from you, though. Just hearing, Sonic awkwardly just calling him up and them just being awkward about each other. It's like, oh, hi, Shadow. How are you doing? It's been a while. Oh, yeah, hi. Yeah, it's been a while. How is the army treating you? It's been treating me okay. What about you?
Kind of funny talking about his wife and inviting him for dinner again, just like it did in the game. That's where the joke with Evil Duck came from. Gun Commander is this whole family of his duplicates.
Well, since
I will say. Oh, you go ahead, Melty.
Oh yeah. So, I think they heard that. I heard something about them confirm that he has a wife. So yeah. So now that Abraham Towers is now canon, so my canon thing about him having a wife is the Amanda Towers gal from Archie Sonic's new timeline. There, that's fine.
Fair enough.
We finally figured out the mystery of that gal.
Yeah. Also, not just a wife, he's got grandchildren.
Oh, yeah.
So if you ever do another joke with the Gun Commander family, we have a whole lot of gun family members just stuck into that car.
Does that mean we're getting a Robotnik family part 2, Roger?
Maybe. I mean, Alex is finally active again, so who knows? What is it, Sala?
I will also say Roger Craig Smith has improved slightly at his Commander Tower voice, because now he's making him sound at least a little bit gravelly. Because before in Dark Beginnings, he's just doing his deep voice, and it sounded nothing like I think Mark Thompson was his name, the previous voice of the Gun Commander. Whose voice was basically just all gravel. Shadow, damn you!
Yeah, man, it's kind of weird. With the current Twitter takeover thing, Sonic rambling on a bit, and I'm just like, yeah. So remember that whole voice direction change they tried to go for in Frontiers? Yeah, the fuck was that all about? Because it's still a one and done deal at this point.
They even made a joke about it in this Twitter takeover where Shadow makes fun of Sonic's high-pitched voice. Roger Greg Smith starts going through all those other deeper voices. Yeah. Including a Sonic Frontiers impersonation. So they made fun of it, I guess. There you go.
Yeah, I think I saw it. Joke. Yeah, I saw that clip where Sonic, Roger did his whole Yetzo voice from the Assassin's Creed series,
Yeah, for the second time in Twitter takeover history, surprisingly enough.
Now we just wait for the time he comes back and voicing an embryo to suddenly crash the Sonic Twitter takeover.
I want to hear back.
You know what's weird though is they brought up Commander Tower, and I immediately knew they're gonna Roger Craig Smith's gonna do his Commander Tower voice, and then they brought up Orbot, and I'm like, oh great, Kirk Thornton's gonna do his Orbot voice, but they brought up Omega, and surprisingly, Roger didn't do his Omega voice.
Huh, that's weird. I mean, like, oh yeah, current voice of Shadow does do Orbot. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, because they sound nothing alike. Because Kirk is actually a competent voice actor who just is miscast as Shadow. Yeah.
No, I think it's just because of the fact that I always keep forgetting about Orbot and Cubot. They're just so forgettable. I pretty much describe them as just, boring office workers going through another Monday at the Eggman Empire. They can't hold a candle to all the other previous henchmen like Snively and Deco and Boko and all the others. But that's just me. Oh yeah, and Agent Stone. Yeah, he's good.
Indeed. But yeah, I kind of forgot about that Kirk Thornton did Orban. I was kind of surprised he started talking indeed, but that explains it. All right, fair enough. That's good. And impressive, Mark Thompson was indeed the Gun General's voice, so I'm impressed.
Yeah,
you
okay,
remember
good.
Those names. Checked it out quickly.
Yeah.
But of course, the real voice is
only
Luke.
The only characters of his I know are the Gun Commander and Don Krieg from One Piece, who is just the exact same voice.
Maybe that's the only voice he can do. I mean, if you have a cool voice like that, why not?
Yeah, you don't need range to be an actor, so, like...
But yeah, looking at his IMDb, he did play a lot of parts, so I'm pretty sure he can do a lot of different
I would
voices.
imagine, yeah. Most actors that were in 4Kids stuff were in, like, everything 4Kids.
Wow, he was even a Smash Bros. But I don't recognize the name. Curum?
Wait.
Curum?
What?
I don't know what Curum is.
What?
Probably a
Like,
partner
try to type
character?
in the chat, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look up. Yeah.
But of course, the real voice of Gun Commander will always be Luke, isn't it?
Oh,
Luke?
Yeah.
Kyurem is a Pokemon.
Oh, you done a Pokemon?
He voices.
voice?
Yeah, apparently 3 of them in Smash Brothers alone.
Huh.
He's Alolan Executor, Abomasnow, and Kyurem.
So they hire him for a Pokemon, so he just has to say one word. Kyurem.
I mean,
Kyurem. Oh man, now
I mean
imagine all these
that's
Pokemon
voicing
having
Pokemon in general.
Fair enough. Now imagine those Pokemon having Gun Commander's face on them. Shut up!
Yeah.
Get over here!
Gun.
Bang, 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 bang.
There you go.
Imagining all
Good,
the
I choose you.
imagine all the what other Pokemon was it? The egg one?
Alolan Executor.
Oh, the Alolan Executor. So I'm just imagining like all the the coconut looking heads all just being replaced with like Gun Commander heads. all going like Gun Commander.
Gun Commander. Ooh, coconut.
With all of them
Okay.
having very serious faces, with maybe one of them just looking a bit off.
I'm sorry to keep this tangent going, but real quick, I just want to mention he was Casey Jones in 4Kids' Ninja Turtles. He was the main character on Ultimate Muscle, and he was also a few side characters on Daria.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Interesting.
Prolific
Yeah.
voice actor indeed. Good for him.
Plenty of variety.
So, anything else we need to say about the Shadow Sonic takeover?
Oh, I did have something else. Oh, I mean, other than the fact that like Shadow is still being like edgy loner who hates fun, I love that one question that they answered was just one guy who asked like, "Why do you skip my question every year?" and so yeah, they're like, my God, I'm not gonna say his name because it's inappropriate. I'm shocked that they got both Shadow and Sonic to say it out loud, but he's like, "Why do you skip my question every year?" Oh, what's the question? That was it. Well, thanks for the question. And he responded, "The one time."
it's kind of annoying when Shadow's still being the edge and stuff. I don't know. I guess with Sonic it was kind of more annoying because like first we had Sonic Frontiers and then with the voice direction and then everything else was like no, it's kind of back to meta era Sonic. And yeah, I guess with Shadow it's kind of less offensive because like sure the recent installment was Shadow Generations, but that takes place during the events of Sonic Generations. So canonically we're still stuck with generic edgelord Shadow in current times.
But speaking of which, this conversation does take place in current day, so after Frontiers, which means that they can't call the gun commander. But then again, I don't think we're supposed to look at this as canon anyway. So.
Yeah, Twitter takeover is not really canon, even though there are definitely some idiots in the fan base who will praise the lore. This is all canon and or whatever. I don't know what I just did. I was kind of making up some mock noise, and I just came up with gospel prior.
And it still made Shadow a little playful. He's not like completely humorless, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But yeah, shall we move on to Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, or is there anything else we need to discuss?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
No,
Well, maybe some brief things regarding the third movie. Like, there has been like this cartridge thing that's been sent to like various influencers based on the cover from Sonic 3, and in it is like a cheat code they can find that has the date for the next trailer, which will be the 25th.
Oh yeah, I've seen a video about that. It's pretty cool. It even plays on the real Mega Drive apparently.
Yeah, I love the scene where you see like Robotnik in a little onesie. It's on Christmas. He sees his grandfather dressed up as Santa, and he gets all excited.
And then just
that was hilarious. Yeah,
that will be my expression if they announce Rouge the Bat or Metal in the Sonic movieverse.
Yeah, or everyone's reaction that are still anticipating for like Amy or stuff to show up in the
Oh my god, there's a theory I saw. Where like Maddie was wearing yellow in Sonic 1 and then Tails was in the post-credit scene, and then in Sonic 2 Maddie was wearing black and red and Shadow was in the post-credit scene, and so in the poster she's wearing pink.
I was getting excited for that.
I think the directors of the film, I think they did confirm there would be like a post-credit scene, but it's like
they did. Yeah. But we it could be anyone. It could be frickin' Vector the Crocodile. You never know.
Yeah, it could be Vector, it could be Silver, or the fan favorite Big Mouth Fred from Sonic Underground.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be absolutely amazing. The salt levels would be astronomical, but I would be laughing my ass off.
Oh yeah, same here.
The rest of the people in the audience were completely confused. Like, who? What?
Yeah. Like, huh? And meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, Big Mouth Fred, woo!
Being the only person that's going like, yay, woo! Whilst everyone's going, what the hell?
No, it should be the Oracle.
Oh yeah, that's right, the Oracle.
I'll return, bitches.
I'm back to warn you about the Council of Four.
The Council of Sonic 4.
The Council of Sonic 4, and this time I'm actually voiced by Christopher Walken.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. I got a fever, and all I cure is more cowbell.
Yeah.
Hooters returns.
Oh my god, Hooter.
And
Yes!
Yeah, this is
Oh man, so many great Sonic Underground characters.
Bartleby come through the ring.
Finally. It's like, oh my, this isn't the spot where Sonya told me to meet up.
Oh bother.
Oh man.
I can imagine going, my name is Bartleby, and this is where things get confusing. Cut credits.
Yes, unfortunately things get very confusing for me, so I'm just going to end the film right here.
Yeah. Or he just shows up like, Sonic, I must tell you about the Sonic multiverse. End credits. Yeah.
I'm here to tell you about the Sonic initiative.
I've seen someone like do that joke, but I don't remember which specific character it was. But let's just say it was Mario. He's like, I'm here to talk to you about the Olympics initiative.
Oh, can I imagine like a Steve edit?
Yeah. Oh, that was it. It was Jack Black as Steve talking about the Smash Brothers initiative.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Ben's
yes.
voice and Jack Black together for the first time. Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Of course, Roger throwing in more memorable characters from Sonic Underground that might appear at the post credits.
I doubt it, but hey.
Well, you can't deny some of us are.
Queen Alina
hopeful of
turns
that.
up and realizes it's the wrong Sonic.
Wait, you're not my son.
Hey, but owls do play a part in the movie, so maybe a Hooter version can show up. Who knows?
Oh yeah, he's like the last surviving member of like the Owl Clan from Longclaw or something.
Yeah.
There you go. He's the husband of the owl woman who died in the first movie. He's Sonic's stepdad.
Yeah, I am your father, Sonic.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm also the founder of Hooters. Hoo-hoo! Oh man, that actually would make a lot of sense, yeah.
Don't know
Oh,
about
and then
sense.
Mike
Yeah, go ahead.
Mike Pollock has done commercials for Hooters, so like it's kind of full
That
circle.
I did not know.
Yeah.
Huh.
In a very Eggman type voice.
I think
In a
he-
very Mike Pollock voice.
Yeah.
I like. Didn't he do
Pity.
like commercials for IHOP? Because I kind of remember those.
He's done a lot of commercials. I also remember one for some like children's toy that can make tiny gross looking s'mores.
One of those.
It's called like Yummy Nummies, and it does not look appetizing at all. But he makes it sound so exciting.
In the Shadow fan film, he did like a trailer voice for like a fake product.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
yeah.
air shoes.
Yeah, the fan film. Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to be in there somewhere, and that is not where I was expecting it to be. I thought somehow they had gotten him to do like a baby Eggman or something. But no, it was just air shoes.
Ah.
I could just imagine, yeah, a really high pitched Mike Pollock. Yeah.
Oof. Anyone ever seen that 8-hour-long retrospective about Sonic Underground and Sat.AM by
Michaela.
Michaela Thorne?
Well, if it's 8 hours, then that would be a no.
Yeah, I
Nah.
watch occasionally more
Yeah,
videos. I'm used to long videos. Depends how interesting he is. Or she.
Also,
now that
I-
think about it.
Or just say them.
Or them.
Them works.
Yeah. Until we can truly identify the gender.
Looking at the avatar, it's a female. But yeah, let's keep it at them, just in case.
Yeah. Also, I did just notice that my representation on screen is my Emerald cosplay that Euan drew and then I recolored.
Yep.
Naturally.
I've been using that for my streams lately.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Even being able to talk.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You changed him, give him little animations. So nice.
Can you make him
Alrighty.
dance?
What, dance?
Can I make it?
I'm saying, can you make it dance, as in, like, just flipping the image, like, you know, back and forth? So it's like he's doing, like, a type dance.
I suppose I could. I mean, I'll look into that. Sure, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there might be some interesting music that plays during your stream that'll make your character go, wah, 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 sort of thing.
Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Woo!
Why not? So, are we ready for Lovesick
Yeah.
Sonic?
I suppose.
Yes.
Oh, we're doing that one first? Oh.
Yeah, that's the first episode before the other one.
Oh, okay. I watched them in reverse order because I was doing the synopsis for slow going. So fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
But
Got
first,
melting
our
gear up.
poop.
Oh, right.
Yep. Just count us down for that.
Yeah, start the countdown. Yeah.
3, a 2, a 1, and poop time.
Breezy.
No!
Breezy.
Yes!
Keep your eyes peeled for cat.
Awesome.
Say what again? I dare you! I double dare you! No! In a word, I'm fighting the ground!
So many crude jokes, Melty Man. How dare you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I would throw in one sex joke where it just ends like, yeah, perfect way to end. And then Robotnik fucks the ground again. and of course, since Breezy's in this episode, I had to throw in my Archie Sonic fanboyism to it.
Which is fair. Absolutely fair.
Oh, I still like the Archie Sonic version to be like the definitive one, but yeah, I already did a whole video about it, so you can go watch that.
After rewatching this episode, I completely agree. Archie, even the little I know about Archie Breezy, she's a lot better.
Yeah, despite her limited screen time, yeah, she's still better.
Alrighty, who's doing the synopsis again?
That's me.
Alright, more complaining about Breezy. Alrighty then.
Do it.
Okay, so, alright, Lovesick Sonic. So it starts off with Scratch and Grounder chasing after this female hedgehog gal. So they're chasing that, and she's like, "Oh, someone help me!" That kind of, damsel in distress shtick. And then Sonic just so happens to hear it, and it's like, "Oh, someone's in trouble." And Scratch and Grounder tie her up to a rock because they think that she knows info of where they can find Sonic and that they can capture him for Robotnik and blah blah blah. But then, oh, here comes Sonic to the rescue. Where at first Grounder tries to hit him with his new glue gun, but he completely misses. Then Scratch boasts about it, and Grounder threatens to glue his mouth shut. But then Sonic comes in with his disguise shtick and pretty much tricks the robots into stepping into the glue puddle that was left behind, giving Sonic enough time to free the random gal. So we find out her name's Breezy, and she really likes Sonic, and Sonic really has the hots for her, and Tails is jealous because Sonic is his boyfriend or a friend. But so anyway, so she's like, "Oh, chili dog's lovely." It's like, "Oh yeah," so mix up chili dogs, then tries to give her flowers, tries to please her demands, and gives her the flowers. It's like, "Oh, unfortunately they're Moby Daisy, blah blah blah." So she's just looking for a specific kind of flowers, and so it's like, "Oh, say no more, I'm on my way." So yeah, it leads into this whole bit of Sonic trying to find these rare flowers, going through crocodiles, and oh yeah, and dealing with this almost getting swallowed by a massive python, which I guess that was the inspiration for that one bit in Sonic Forces. So yeah, and then dealing with a bunch of cannibals, which ends with a random explosion. So yeah, and then he makes it to the garden. It's like, "Ah, congratulations, you made it, but no one's ever left here." "Oh, why?" "Because there's a giant dragon." So yeah, and then Sonic fights off the dragon a bit. So yeah, he makes it back, a bit tired, but Breezy got the flowers. Though she was complaining "Oh, I've been, waiting so long and I haven't eaten anything." And Sonic's like, "Well, why did you offer her a chili dog?" It's like, "Oh, she only likes a specific kind of chili dog in the Antarctic area of Mobius and whatnot." So of course Sonic heads there, runs into a polar bear asking for directions. And then surprisingly, turns out this polar bear is actually a secret agent working for Robotnik. To which Robotnik gets the call from him. It's like, "Oh, Sonic's in the Arctic region." And Robotnik's like, "Ha-ha, it's brilliant." And then we get the big lordom that Breezy is actually one of his creations. And he's sending him out to do a bunch of errands to try and pretty much tire him out and get him distracted so that he can move on to his big master plan. But not showing off his, his rather interesting... Well, there's two things. One, he flashes in front of the mirror. Then two, he does that whole pose that's, definitely wouldn't fly over today's standards. Of course, before I forget, this also gave us the birth of a clip of the classic "silence" bit from Robotnik. So, right, Robotnik jumps into his Egomatic Tunnelizer and Town Terrorizer. And every time I see that bit, all I can think of is Robotnik's Song of Epic Proportions from ye olden days of the internet. But yeah, anyway, his big plan is that he has this drill machine, and he's gonna tunnel underground this village that has this big water reservoir. He's gonna tunnel in and flood the whole town and make it Lake Robotnik. And oh yeah, then it gives us another classic clip with the whole "no" bit. So yeah, so he tells him to go find Breezy and help out in dealing with Sonic. So while Robotnik gets to have his own rottenness ways, Sonic's like back and comes back as a snowman. He's like, "Oh, it's so chilly," but he got the chili dog thing. And yeah, then Breezy's like, "Oh, that's nice, but oh, I know it's like someplace I can get it warm because apparently Sonic put out the fire." So, yep, Sonic runs out, and Tails like, "Oh, why are you being so demanding?" And the bitches are like, "Oh, piss off, Tails," and chucks him into the river. So, yeah, so Tails manages to save himself by flying. And, yeah, so Scratch Grounder and Breezy set up the whole big trap where, basically they have to trick Sonic into stepping onto this treadmill, creating static electricity, so that he'll be trapped within this giant magnet thing. So, yeah, so Tails tries to warn Sonic, but Sonic's like, "No, I got a hot babe, I gotta please her." So, yeah, so, you know, gets the whole chili dog all warmed up. But it turns out, during that whole time, Sonic also had enough time to get a present that Breezy didn't ask for, as well as a love poem, which, you know, melts Breezy's heart. It's like, "Oh, no one's ever given me an actual gift before." And... yeah, you know, gift from the heart, blah, 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 not just her demanding shit. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, they actually capture Sonic, but then Breezy has a change of heart and frees Sonic from the trap, and she warns Sonic, like, "Oh, Robotnik's gonna flood the town and whatnot," and Sonic's like, "Oh, say no more." So, yeah, and then it pretty much wraps up pretty quickly with Robotnik. He just lashes him onto a bungee rope, and Robotnik gets yanked back with his trademark, "I hate that hedgehog!" And yeah, and then apparently like Breezy runs away or something, but Sonic's putting him down. But then Tails gives him a note, it's like, "Oh, you know, maybe one day we'll meet again one day." And so, you know, Sonic and Tails continue on with their quest of just, you know, running around and helping folks in need. And then, of course, we get the infamous Sonic Says segment, where basically Sonic tells all the boys and girls on what's the best way of dealing with pedophiles and molesters. The end.
Yeah, we got quite a lot of infamous moments in this episode. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've grown through all the big scenes. I'm surprised how many of the big memes scenes we already had. We barely started with these episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got snooping around. We got the don't touch stuff. Man. Yeah, go ahead, Sala.
Yeah, this show is just so full of iconic moments, especially in early episodes, I guess. But
Yeah.
it is funny to watch these episodes again after so many years of YouTube poops, and like being unable to unhear all of the edits.
Yeah.
Like I was so shocked to hear like the Jamaican dude be like keep your eyes peeled for the gay python.
Oh, there's one moment is that when they were tunneling under, you could see a sign that says "the dastard." I can imagine kids going, "Dad, what does dastard mean?" Ask your mum.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing they didn't spell it with a B.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, there's dastardly, but yeah, dastard. That's yeah.
I mean, it's a real word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it means basically a sneaky person causing harm.
Like Dick
That's a
Dastardly.
good description. So,
Oh yeah, like the dastardly. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that's where the word dastardly comes from.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to see Breezy when she has to take out Tails. He just grabs him and throws him right in the river. It's like, man, she's so
Yeah, he
million
just
times
grabs
more
him right-
efficient than Stretch and Grounder. It's like, whoop,
Yeah, he
that, off you go to die, Tails.
Yeah, grabs him by the snout too. It's like, man, that must be painful.
Yeah.
I love that shot of Tails just all falling at just complete distance to the river. It's such a punchline camera shot. Like,
One other observation I've noticed is as Tails is swimming through the river, but trying to escape the waterfall. If you listen closely to the music, it sounds almost like the opening notes to Easy Peak from Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
They must have stolen it from this because I'm pretty sure this is before Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Curse you, Grant Kirkhoff.
But man, the animation is really smooth in this episode. I love the art style too. A little deranged, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
Man, some awesome face expressions here.
Yeah. Some essence of like 1930s in there, like especially with the polar bear. So I definitely got like 1930s vibe with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the show really loves having this Betty Boop, Felix the Cat kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
But I think because of also how wacky the animation it was, they had obviously had a lot of fun with Robotnik just because of all the sort of facial expressions he kept pulling, especially with the big cheesy grin of his. Especially when he gets told like his plan is like coming along just nicely, and he just changes from a ooh to a
that's an iconic frame there too. Yeah.
Hence why I had to include it in the thumbnail.
Thank you.
As he's flying his Eggmobile.
I thought one funny thing about this was like when he's going to go get the flowers, Sonic travels 2,000 miles and he just goes immediately to a guy selling maps and he's like, I want a map. And the guy's like, no, you don't want a map to the oddly specific thing you didn't even tell me you were looking for. For once, I understand Sonic's impatience.
Very impressive that you really know that, yeah. What else to say?
How about that Breezy, eh?
Yeah. It is kind of weird how, like, immediately Tails distrusted her.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't even doing anything suspicious yet. He just hated her immediately.
Yeah, he's just jealous you're stealing Sonic's boyfriend. Or his boyfriend.
Yeah.
Tails.
It's also really... it's also... no, you go ahead, Melty.
I guess another thing he might be, like, suspicious, because, being a kid, it's like, oh, girls are itching,
yeah,
that kind of
cooties.
Yeah, cooties.
It's also weird that, like, she finds out that they're having chili dogs and declares that it's her favorite food. But then, like, she starts making more and more unreasonable demands to agree to eat with Sonic, only to reveal that she only likes one kind of chili dog anyway.
It was a lie.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, it was all lies, but... Still weird.
Sonic never caught on to it. Silly lovesick dog. It, our detective.
And it's kind of surprising just how revealing those hips of hers are, like the way with how the dress is designed and all.
Yeah, oh my god.
Revealing quite a lot of fur. Yeah.
Hey, well, Sonic is naked, so.
Yeah. That is the Sonic hypocrisy. Is that all the dudes are naked, but the girls have to wear clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unless it's Archie Sonic or Sally Acorn. Yeah. She's the rogue one.
Yeah.
And it's a robot on top of it, so.
Although looking at some of these like screenshots, it does seem as though the animators just keep forgetting to put the backside of her dress in. So it looks like she's just like exposing her rear end to the world.
Oh my. Yeah.
Not all the time, just like those odd specific like screenshots.
Yeah, if she's
like especially that one moment of where Sonic just gives like Breezy the pendant.
Ah, yeah.
And like you could just notice like where's the back end of her dress?
And she's about ready to show Sonic the moon. Ha ha ha. Yeah.
Yeah, the bit after Sonic reads Breezy's goodbye letter and you see him sitting on the rock, he did look really depressed there.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I wanted a bone, darn it.
Damn it.
He's just sad it's his arms turn blue again. I don't want to turn into Boom Sonic.
No, I want to be Movie Sonic. He's better.
Poor Sonic.
Yeah. But yes, I guess we're going to be seeing more of that whole blue arm coloring error quite a lot in this show.
Oh, yeah. They had to crank these episodes out real quick.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Especially with, that one scene with, like, oh, no one's ever left the garden. Oh, why is that? And you can actually see, like, the lip syncing is on the gardener and not Sonic, because it's supposed to be Sonic's voice. Yeah.
Oops.
A lot of animation.
Also,
errors.
like,
Go ahead.
there's like, so, Robotnik's trap for Sonic involves a carpet-coated treadmill, and the animators mistook that to mean that the ground is just made of carpet and is hiding a treadmill.
You don't know if that's the animator's mistake or just a stupid joke of the writers, because the jokes in the show are kind of weird sometimes.
No. That is definitely a mistake, because the fact that the treadmill is covered in carpet is important, because that's how Sonic builds up electricity while running on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they just actually forgot to, that they specifically call it a carpet-coated treadmill, but it's just animated as a normal treadmill hidden under a carpet.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Now I'm wondering how many of those weird jokes of the show was just the animators misunderstanding the script.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
the show had a very quick turnaround. I know for the most part it worked for this show. Just this chaos and hyperactivity kind of works in its favor, I suppose.
There's also this moment where Scratch and Grounder are congratulating Breezy for getting rid of Tails, and Grounder says, "That little brat is a real pain in," and Scratch just yells out, "Hey, he's transmission."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That little
wow.
brat's a real pain in the transmission.
Yeah, Scratch being the censor. Yeah.
I'm shocked that they snuck that joke in.
Yeah.
They
I
sneak
do
a lot
like-
of stuff in. Yeah, Luke, go ahead.
I do like. Robotnik's pilot outfit looks interesting because it kind of predates his boom outfit a bit. Because I think this is probably one of the earliest versions we see Eggman Robotnik wearing goggles.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, even before modern Robotnik, yeah.
And he's even got like the boom physique with the what is that thing? A corset. He's wearing a
Yeah,
corset, and it gives him the boom physique, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And also it's just kind of like that's basically Boom's outfit in general. 'Cause he's wearing a pilot's outfit.
Yeah, pilot's outfit, of course, in Adventures of Sonic. He has more kind of a Red Baroness style, yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
chuckling
well-
at that. I was just chuckling at that bit of Robotnik pulling that big cheesy smile of his while he's in his egomatic as like scratching around, no complimenting him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's like, one question. Yes. What is it? And then the face like, whoop.
That was great, yeah.
Oh man, it's so good.
I also love the villagers. I always love the way you see random villagers that are so over the top derpy. Like, yay, we're so happy. Absolutely nothing bad is gonna happen to us. La 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 la.
Yeah.
I just always love that.
Especially right next to this reservoir.
Yeah.
I'm living right next to Robotnik. They're literally his neighbors.
We live in a dictatorship.
Yay!
At least I think we do.
Yeah.
He never bothers us much,
Yeah.
if ever.
Yeah, maybe he's a nice guy deep down.
Yeah. Hey, where's that water coming from?
And then they died. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got washed away. The end.
Yeah.
Oh, sadly, Sonic rescues them. Oh well. We're robbed from that one
Yeah,
moment.
darn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now that I'm looking at this, the tunnel terrorizer device, I guess you could say this is like the show's version of the egg drill from Sonic 2, just without the wheels.
Could be, sure.
Ah. Yeah.
Or maybe
It is
it's
kind of
the
fun.
box. Yeah.
Yeah. It is kind of funny though that like Breezy went from like the most loyal and competent Eggman robot to a complete traitor after reading the most low effort poem I've ever seen. Sonic literally pulled a roses or red, violets or blue on her, and she immediately switches sides.
I guess she decided to take pity on his poor writing.
Yeah. She's like, it reminds me of the meme of like someone like smiling with tears in their eyes saying, "This shit is so ass." Oh man.
Oh yeah, alfalfa is sneezy.
Who's alfalfa?
Yeah. No, alfalfa is a type of plant.
Oh.
Often fed to livestock like cows and goats.
Yeah.
What a random
And yeah, it does have quite a bit of pollen.
But yeah, kind of fun. Yeah, who knows? Maybe Sonic is the only one who can write. I mean, we get to see Tills writing in the next episode, and it isn't very impressive.
Oh yeah.
But I guess I could have also answered your question because Alfalfa is the name of a character. It's the character from Little Rascals whose like hair stands up on the top.
Yeah, that kid. Yeah, had quite a bit of tragic history with after the Little Rascals. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms to get into.
Alrighty.
I do want to say something that I remember watching this episode after reading the Sonic Battle issues of Archie, and I was when they put the Adventure Sonic Hedgehog characters in there. I remember reading it, oh, they made Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog canon to Archie now, so that's cool. So I remember going back to watch this episode to introduce myself to like Breezy and the like, and I think I was a little bit confused, like that she's a robot, and I was like, is she a robot in the comic as well? I don't know if Melty could confirm that or not.
Well, the little screen time she got in the show, no, it's never really been stated or revealed that she is a robot like her origins, though. I know there was a tweet from Flynn saying, like, oh, maybe her origin was, fabricated of starting a rags to riches kind of deal. But it's like, yeah, but I don't know. It's like, it never really quite made it into that, actual canon pages. So I always just stick to the whole deal that Breezy is always a regular hedgehog, and Archie Sonic, who's had some shady business dealings with Robotnik in the past, especially since, the flashbacks they show her in to surprisingly take place during the 8-bit version of Sonic 2. So we see him going through the rounds and whatnot, and then Breezy reveals, like, oh, I'm actually working for Robotnik, when Sonic tricks him into coming across a robot, the Silver Sonic robot, and that one they call it a prototype model. So yeah, it's very interesting with how they incorporated, especially with their designs. I always loved Breezy's design, but I do like the way they handled like the new timeline of Scratch and Grounder. Like their designs were a nice combination of their standard looks and throwing in elements of the Badniks they're based off of. So like Grounder always has his eyes closed because just like the Badnik robots, and Scratch looking a little more like the chicken robot kind of deal. But surprisingly, I already did like a whole episode on not just Breezy, but also like Scratch and Grounder and Coconuts, and it's quite surprising that out of the trio, Coconuts gets a lot more screen time in the comics than Scratch and Grounder.
That's shocking. Guess Ian Flynn likes him more. Feel sorry for him.
Oh no! Like this was way before Ian Flynn started writing, so like Coconuts was like at the start from like the days of Mike Gallagher and Art Mawhinney. Yeah.
Then it's someone else's favorite, I guess. Oh well. I mean, comic books always love their monkeys, right? It's like a cliche. If the sales are bad, just throw in a monkey bad guy somewhere.
But yeah, I would have loved to see more of like Archie, Breezy interacting with Scratch, Grounder, and Coconuts. A one big happy dysfunctional family.
Indeed.
Alas, Archie, Breezy taken away too soon.
Just like everyone in Archie, huh?
Pretty much. Especially the new timeline. Ouch.
But that's a story for another time.
A very long time.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Because there are a lot of Sonic X comics to go through first, yeah. And probably going back to Fleetway or IDW first.
The future is, we don't know what the future holds. So, after Sonic X, then yeah, who knows what we're going to do after that.
Indeed. But for now, Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog, Lovesick. Any more comments about Nazi Robotnik or...
Is that a fucking JoJo's?
Greetings, friends.
We do not tolerate that statement here. We kick you out.
Pingers.
That's Robotnik's opinion on the matter.
Yeah.
Also, I did kind of forget that I've set it to automatically play Greetings, Friends whenever I join this call, so that kind of...
That makes it funnier.
Funny enough, I do think of Robotnik when I hear Stroheim's theme,
Okay, fair enough.
especially with the Death Egg robot.
Sure. Very fitting indeed. Yeah, what else? I love the art style, I love the smooth animation.
Yeah.
Mistakes
That's
and all.
wacky fun stuff, yeah. Probably the first instances of Sonic encountering a dragon. So yeah, predating Dulcie and all that.
Oh yeah, we didn't make mention of that joke. I kind of love that. Like they introduced the crocodiles as enemies first, and Sonic just kicks him in the face. And I kind of love it. I kind of love how they return later when the dragon tries to put out the fire and gets eaten by them. Why can't I find the screenshots? But yeah, it's kind of
Sounds
nice.
just like, piss off, Vector. Yeah.
Yeah, what you said in the synopsis, the random explosion. So he beats up the pig cannibals and they fall on top of each other, and then there's a giant explosion for no reason.
Yeah, like Sonic beats up the two pigs, then the other one just like falls on them, and then giant explosion. Very
I
random.
pretty much see the cannibals as like a really cartoony versions of moblins from Zelda.
Sure, why not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really love the gag of the dragon trying to put out the fire with his foot, and then all the alligators bite him. That's a nice little recurring joke.
Yeah.
Nice little touch. I appreciate that.
But yeah, aside from that, all I can think of is, another thing I can think of is that one shot where we get the reveal of Robotnik, like, chilling out in his lounge attire. And it's like, yeah, it's really weird seeing a human with 3 toes. I guess he must have had surgery or something.
Yeah. I mean, he's only got 4 fingers, so maybe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, with 4 fingers, you'd think he'd have 4 toes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
But yeah, for a food fetishist out there, finally, one Sonic character sees his food. And a lot more later, when he starts stripping in front of us. Hooray.
It's kind of ironic, because I've always talked about how Sonic characters just look better with, like, the 3-toed paw designs. You know, it's a middle ground. Not too lazy like blob feet, not too realistic like human feet, you know, just right. But when it's, like, a human Sonic character, it's like, maybe I should rephrase that. Yeah.
Yeah, and also
I
brought
think we
about
could-
the meme of Robotnik grinning and he's on the phone.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah, classic.
the one.
Yep, we did talk about that, actually, very briefly.
Yeah.
It's an amazing face expression. Hey, you wouldn't redrew it. Yes, Sala, go ahead.
Legendary. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I think we can all agree, though, in regards to how Sonic characters' feats are designed, that nobody likes how they were done in Forces.
No one liked them.
Uh,
Nobody.
I don't
3
remember.
toes, no toes? How about 1 toe?
Oh yeah, with like the sandal cosmetics, yeah.
No, like, I mean, yes, the sandal cosmetics, as well as the monkey ball bare feet cosmetic.
Oh yeah.
It's just a single toe.
Yeah, like no, can't show like feed that much, you know, gotta please the Muslims and whatnot. Yeah.
I guess you could call them asterisk feet.
Oh, well, like the
That's
shoes they're wearing, you mean, yeah. Alright,
Yeah. Thank you for putting that on screen so I can have nightmares about it.
And here's asterisks.
Why did they do that? Why did they do that?
It's so dumb, but then again, like with all the Sonic media, yeah, designing feet on Sonic characters is very, very inconsistent. Especially in the Archie Sonic, because like, oh, like sometimes they'll have blob feet, no, sometimes they'll have 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, yeah. All depends on the artist.
When I look very closely to the avatar, I think I see more toes though. It's just that the one is more emphasized than the other.
No,
No, I think that's just a shadow thing.
Yeah. If you actually look at the feet in game from like multiple angles, it's just one toe and the rest of them are fused together.
Yeah. I mean, like, this looks more like something like PS2 graphics kind of look, you know, with like one posable thumb and like the rest of the fingers are like glued together.
Yeah.
Or like the one stand sort of like index finger and then the rest is just glued on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like that.
and-
Like,
And you're lucky if that thumb is posable.
oh yeah.
Well, like personally, I've said this before. I prefer the blob feet because first of all, like Big and Takala just have like sandals, so like we know what their feet look like, and it'd be very weird if any of the other characters had toes, but they didn't. Plus, yeah, and anytime we've seen like Sonic or Amy wearing sandals, they also have the blob feet.
Oh yeah.
And Darkspine Sonic's just out here barefoot as well. So
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I like the consistency of them having blob feet.
Yeah, to me, I'm still three-toed paw feet team because I don't know, the blob feet just looks a bit lazy. Like, oh, they use like a base model to like design a character, and they did all the details and everything, and then they forgot to model the feet, and they're like, fuck it. But that's just me. Yeah. But yeah, that whole joke I did, like, oh, pleasing the Muslims, and that was more. Or just a case of, I've heard talks of like some countries that it's like, oh, it's like illegal or like inappropriate to like show feet or even just regular feet in general, like even if there's shoes on, so they always have to cover them up. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
Yeah, some cultures just aren't, there's actual laws for that, so it's not just a whole feet fetish, overused joke kind of deal.
Fair enough. I think I'm on Team Blob, mostly because I hate drawing feet, so it makes it easier for me as an artist.
Yeah. Valid, completely valid reason. That's probably some of my reason too, because like if I've never drawn Sonic characters' feet, but if I did, oh man, that would make it so much easier.
And Euan, what's your stance on the whole matter?
Let the foot fetishes of the world know.
Yeah, just get everyone's.
Bring everyone on board and say about what we think about Sonic characters' feeties.
Yeah.
Let us bring everyone together.
Yeah.
Do they have toes or blobbed feet?
Or three-toed paws,
Yeah. Or basically just the one toe, which engulfs the entire foot.
Yeah. Or 12 toes,
Little 12 toes.
Well, I did not expect that to lead into a reference.
Really? You didn't do that on purpose?
No, I had no idea there was a song about that.
Oh my god. The guy who sang it just passed away recently.
Oh.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's sorry to hear.
I mean, that song is like 50 years old or whatever, but it is part of the reason why I'm good at multiplying 12s.
Well, there you
that
go.
was the point.
Yeah.
That was the point of the song. Is like, oh, imagine an alien species that had 6 fingers on each hand. They would count by 12s just as easy as we do 10s.
Oh, wait. Was this like a segment from like Sesame Street from back in the day?
Nope. No, Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, that. Because, I remember there was like Sesame Street that had like a segment like, oh, this alien had like so many eyes, so many like fingers and toes. Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, and it just aired on other things.
But yeah, Little 12 Toes, cool song. I liked it. I loved Schoolhouse Rock's math songs back when I was a kid. I because of them, I was doing multiplication really early. Like normally that's a 3rd grade thing. I was doing that in kindergarten.
And I remember some of the songs. And then, of course, we got the classic, I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. Anything else?
I'm just saying what. I was just wondering what Roger's doing with this one.
Yeah.
I'm
Throwing
too
in a
slow
meme or
because the
something.
conversation's already over. But,
Oh, he's making a Drake meme, I think.
Yep.
Well,
Robotnik does not approve of no toes. Oh. Or does he approve of no toes and disapproves of one toe?
That's a good
No,
question.
I think he just realizes, like, to call his history, it's like, oh, water god, chaos, and everything, blah, blah, blah. Why wasn't that in my show? Oh, man, yeah, that would be crazy, yeah. What would a Avengers-style version of chaos would even look like? Yeah.
Probably, I'm thinking something like the Phantom Blot from classic Mickey cartoons.
Oh yeah, that could be something.
It's just like a blob-shaped human.
Oh yeah. I was thinking more like just a generic water monster. Like, not as like demented as Fleetway's version, but you know, just something more goofy looking.
Oh my god, I forgot about Fleetway Chaos.
Oh yeah, they had they took quite a lot of creative liberties.
Yeah,
with
he
their
was scary.
adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he can talk.
Oh yeah.
We will get back to Fleetway someday.
Yeah, someday. And by then it'll be much quicker because, yeah, once we get back to the rest, it'll be in that phase where there's like one story per issue, basically.
Yeah. Which would please Roger.
Indeed it would be.
Although he'd be disappointed because of the lack of fan art that will be shown off where we can just point and laugh at how bad it looks.
Ah, yeah. Point and laugh at the kids. Ooh.
Yeah.
Our favourite pastime.
These children can't draw.
You can replace it by a part where you get to pick one of my worst drawings of my animations. You can laugh at me. As
Yeah.
vengeance.
Sonic movie madness.
Roger's terrible art corner. There you go.
There we
God
go.
damn, Fleetwood
The
Chaos is nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
More a squid, by the looks of it.
Yeah, why he's he got like actual octopus tentacles?
I guess
Probably
they
because of
only
its
had-
origins with the whole fish people and whatnot.
Yeah.
And now just because of that, I'm imagining him with Suction Cup Man's voice.
Yeah, fuck you, I'm Suction Cup Man!
You can't kill perfect chaos. Fuck you.
Oh well.
All right,
Are we done with the Lovesick Sonic?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
we've been done.
Just ramble on too much, yeah.
Yeah. Rambled on from talking about Lovesick Sonic all towards the how many feet that Mobian should have.
Yeah.
How
Or
many
just whatever
feet?
random,
Yes.
Well,
yeah, or whatever
well,
random
toes,
shit that
really.
gets brought up, yeah.
Yeah.
What type of toes they should have.
Then we finished
But
with
anyway.
Sala's favorite Smurf friend.
Oh yeah. Though I was going to pause it on the frame before that, but then that one came up. And I'm like, oh my god.
And then Bruzy became Elastic Man.
That is the smeariest smear frame I have ever seen.
Well, I think I have the frame before that. Is it the one now on screen?
Yeah, there you go.
That's also a nice one.
Yeah, that is the one I was trying to get. But the one I ended up getting was so much goofier.
They have some great face expression in this one. That's the wonderful thing when the animation is so smooth. It gets a lot of wonderful in between frames. Yes.
Yeah, I'm shocked at how smooth the animation is. You know that. No wonder there's so many freaking errors. They gotta make stuff like this.
Yeah.
I love it. Let them have their couple continuity mistakes if we get awesome stuff like this. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Everyone ready for the YouTube poop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I made this one.
Yep,
Yeah.
Sala's
It's my first ever
debut.
YouTube poop.
Hooray! But now, audience, let us see how well. Let's just see what you think of this. Like, make sure you give positive feedback or some stern critiquing. But I'm sure it'll be all hunky dory for him. So when you're ready, Roger.
Sala's very YouTube poop. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift off.
See you later, fucker! Sonic the Hedgehog reduced! That stovepipe is a subatomic slow-go subatomic stovepipe.
Well, stop complaining. It's my turn to be on top.
No time for hanging out, gang.
Let me...
Damn it!
Was there a Robotnik gravestone like a reference to Ball as his voice actor, Baldy something?
Long John Baldry.
Yes. Yes, the dates on the gravestone are indeed the birth and death dates of Long John Baldry.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like taking time to make up a date myself.
I like that extra bit you add in, weeping as usual, I see.
Yeah, weeping as you... I'm like, what should his gravestone say? I'm like, oh, I can make a Pingus pun.
And I can totally see Robotnik saying that to people on his funeral. It's like, oh, of course you're weeping for me.
Yeah.
Because they'll weep for me or else.
That's it. Yeah, he's like not just expecting but demanding people cry over his death.
As usual, not just once, but every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every
Weep
day
for
you
me,
will
or
mourn me.
Weep for me, or I'll come back from the dead and haunt you.
I also I got one idea while just watching the episode and hearing the way he pronounces the word reduced with like his English accent. I'm like, oh, he says reduced. I could work with that. And so I like sentence mixed him to say Sonic the Hedgehog reduced. And I'm like, okay, but will people get that joke? So I looked up like a logo for Sonic the Hedgehog reduced on Google Images. And I'm like, surely there's a logo there. And then as I'm looking for it, I find one. I'm like, wait, it would be weird to put like fan art up here without crediting the artist who made this. And I see uploaded by Euan a Kid Hog. I'm like, oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah, so it'll be hunky dory.
Yeah, well, I think like most YouTube poopers don't really like do that much crediting on like random fan art that they do. Like a few seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do that, so thankfully I looked and saw who it was, and it was just perfect. I didn't even remember that Euan drew that logo. It was just a fun coincidence.
But you still didn't credit him, so expect to hear from his
I
lawyers.
didn't. No,
Expect to hear from
I'm
Euan's lawyers.
crediting him now.
Yeah, he's in the live chat, so you know.
I'm crediting him now because the YouTube poop is not public, and so like there was no place else to credit him but right here.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'll make sure to do similar sort of things in the future YTPs, of at least maybe having a little bit of text at the bottom saying credit to this person. But it'll be more of a blink and you'll miss it sort of thing because we have to move on to the next joke.
Yeah.
I imagine we're gonna have some Elise's not amused moments in our YouTube poops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I deleted some jokes from the one I was making because it was going on way too long, and I am, as I said, this was my first ever YouTube poop. I am used to making like clips longer, so to like include entire sentences and whatnot. I'm amazed watching like Melty do this like he's a pro, and he's just including random like spaz out moments of characters going.
Yeah, I guess you can tell that I've watched too many Robotnik YouTube poops from like ye olden days of Boogity Boo and the Chairman, and mostly a lot of Itch-Evader. Like he does a lot of Robotnik stuff, so that was kind of the main inspiration of.
He did the music videos all the time. I love those.
Yeah, and getting my groove with the YouTube poop styles, because it's like it's more random, chaotic nonsense. So like okay, this is where I can really go. Because I'm really strict with timing and stuff. So like okay, like this joke happens, and then bam, this one, and then bam, bam, bam. Shooting off like a rocket, machine gun. That's just my thought process with making these YouTube poops.
Well done.
Yeah,
I can do it.
Yeah, that's something I'll have to put more consideration into next time because I'm just the only joke I feel very YouTube poopish about in my was just Robotnik laughing for several seconds.
Oh yeah, an endless loop kind of deal. Yeah.
Because like as I'm watching the episode, it did feel like it was looping a little, and I'm like, oh, I'll just extend that.
But I think it's because I've watched like Capt Pan's sort of YTPs of Sonic so much. I was kind of expecting you just to throw in where Sonic yells, "We're under gay Nick Attack," especially considering the fact you did that one joke about how Grounder was complaining like, "Oh come on, it's my turn to be on top."
Oh yeah, I love the sex joke there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. Like I don't know if anyone noticed, but like I put great detail into. I noticed like 4 frames in the footage I used of like the Sim's hand reaching out of the blanket to grab onto the pillow, and so I took great detail to replace the hand with scratches.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a really great attention to detail. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of my first attempt at this.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to doing more of this. This is fun.
Pretty much so.
That's good to hear.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Now for the actual episode itself.
Yeah.
Slow
All right, so
going. Yes.
slow going. Yeah, I called dibs on this one immediately because this one's so freaking stupid. So our episode begins at a place apparently called Sloth Manor, home to a Berenstain Bears-esque family of sloths that move so slowly that every single one of them is covered in cobwebs. Unfortunately, they have somehow managed to attract the attention of Dr. Ivo Robotnik, who takes advantage of their lack of speed in order to destroy their home, knowing Sonic wouldn't be able to resist helping them. He accomplishes this by flying upside down so that the hesitant and cowardly Scratch and Grounder fall out of the egomatic hovercraft and crash through the sloth's home. The sloth family son, named Rocket, takes a zip line and sends out a telegram asking Sonic for help. Back at Robotnik's fortress, the not-so-good doctor is finishing up putting the 2 robot lackeys back together as he explains that the sloths are just bait, and that they are to take his newest weapon back there to ambush the hedgehog. After Scratch gives us some classic dumb henchman slapstick, Robotnik explains that the weapon can fire a beam that can slow down anything for 1 hour, and is powered by a Mobian mega crystal that took me 9 years to make. Oh, holy crap. He then tells them to fire the weapon at Sonic and then call him to come pick the hedgehog up. Naturally, Scratch and Grounder immediately fight over who gets to use the weapon. Robotnik threatens to fire them both, which they misunderstood as commanding them both to fire the weapon, which of course they do at Robotnik himself, who tells them to return in 1 hour so he can dismantle them. Back at Sloth Manor, Sonic arrives just as predicted. He gives Tails a pad and pencil to take some notes of all the supplies they'll need to repair their home, but unfortunately Tails is only 4.5 years old and doesn't know how to write. Rocket introduces himself to Tails and declares himself the fastest sloth on Mobius, demonstrating this with the shockingly realistic way that sloths go fast, by falling out of a tree. Sonic gets to work on the repairs. He starts by using himself as a buzzsaw, literally, in order to cut planks from a log. Tails then starts throwing the planks at Rocket for some reason, who is quickly overwhelmed and collapses. Sonic decides to try a different strategy that leads to even more hijinks of Tails and Rocket's being useless, before Sonic decides Rocket would be the most help keeping watch out for trouble, before beginning the repairs on the house himself. Meanwhile, Scratch and Grounder are doing what they do best, arguing. They arrive at Sloth Manor and discover that Robotnik's plan to lure Sonic has worked. Rocket, being shockingly useful for once, sounds the alarm when he spots them. The bots begin firing almost indiscriminately, but not managing to hit anything, though confirming that the beam itself has kinetic energy as it breaks objects. Sonic fortifies the Sloth Manor and tells Tails to watch over the sloths while he takes care of Scratch and Grounder. As Scratch rides Grounder around, he fires at Sonic and he missed, hitting a waterfall and somehow slowing that, which catches Sonic's attention. Now Grounder is riding on top of Scratch for some reason, as it's his turn to fire the weapon. Sonic stands at the base of a rocky hill and taunts Grounder, who fired and then he missed, causing a very slow rock slide, confirming Sonic's suspicions on what the beam weapon does. Suddenly, Robotnik appears, enjoying his normal speed again by putting even more emphasis on rolling his R's. Scratch and Grounder, in an attempt to appease his anger, Both try to zap Sonic, and in their fight, again fire the weapon at Robotnik, who promises to return in another hour before slowly flying off. Sonic heads back to Sloth Manor to pick up Tails, promising to deal with the two robots before the Sloths can leave. Scratch has a new plan, setting up an inflatable schoolhouse and equally inflatable school children. Knowing Sonic respects school zones, but Sonic immediately catches on and flips the script, disguising himself as a crossing guard. To Scratch's credit, he immediately sees through the disguise, but starts fighting with Grounder again for the weapon, ensuring neither of them hit anything. Sonic then creates a giant tornado around them, which he picks up with his bare damn hands and throws it like a javelin.
If Hercules can do it, so can he.
Yeah. He just fucking picks it up.
And all the school children are dead.
Yeah. Later on, the two robots have a new plan, disguising Grounder as a sloth and nailing him to a tree before attacking him so that he yells out in pain. Sonic stops to assist, but Tails quickly notices that it's a trap and tries to warn Sonic, but Sonic instead monologues long enough to allow Scratch to finally zap him. Sonic very slowly warns Tails to go back to the sloth before getting grabbed by Scratch and Grounder, who celebrate their success as we cut to commercial. By the time we come back, Scratch and Grounder have locked Sonic in a cage they've set up in a cave behind a waterfall. They report to Robotnik that they've completed their mission before Scratch mocks Robotnik for being slow, causing both him and Grounder to erupt into laughter. Back at Sloth Manor, which is no longer fortified for some reason, Tails reports to Rocket before deciding to go back himself to rescue Sonic. Back at the cave, Scratch taunts Sonic with a hot dog on a stick before swiping it away from him at the last second. They also throw an entire birthday cake at him and laugh about that while Grounder oils his shoulder for seemingly no reason. As they argue over what they're going to do with the 1 billion Mobium bounty, Tails grabs the slow-mo weapon and points it at them. In a surprising moment of non-misplaced confidence, the two robots are completely unintimidated by the two-tailed fox, and Grounder reaches out to casually knock the weapon out of his hands. Unfortunately, this causes the Mobian Mega Crystal to break. Scratch just puts the pieces back into the weapon and points it at Tails, but Sonic yanks on one of his tail feathers, and then Tails tells Tails to save himself. Tails snatches the weapon and flies away, back to Sloth Manor. Yet again, he just keeps going back there for like a second, just to go back to the cave. So yeah, Tails returns to Sloth Manor and begins planning his next attack when Rocket volunteers to help yet again. Tails finally tells him that he's just too slow to help, and Rocket again demonstrates his speed by letting go of his tree branch, landing directly on the weapon and causing it to fire. For the first time, the beam actually bounces off of just plain rocks and comes back to hit Rocket, except that the broken crystal actually makes him fast instead of slow. Tails then fires it at the rest of the Sloth family, who immediately adapt to their new speed as if they were born for it. The Sloths pick up a plank of wood and run off towards the cave. Scratch and Grounder are playing a card game where for some reason they are holding their cards backwards when they hear a sudden boing sound. I don't know why I read that as boring sound.
The sound is very boring.
The Sloths are launching an attack, by which I mean they're launching themselves, using a plank of wood as a diving board to leap into the cave and begin bouncing around frantically. Grounder pulls out a tennis racket that he never knew he needed, and expertly bats the Sloths out of the cave. I say bats despite him using a tennis racket because hitting a tennis ball is called a stroke, and I did not want to say he was stroking the Sloths. As the Sloths distract Grounder with their bombardment, Tails sneaks in and zaps Sonic with the now reversed slow-mo beam, restoring him to normal speed. Sonic immediately busts out of his cage and begins literally running circles around the bots, messing with them and causing Grounder to accidentally knock Scratch clear out of the cave, before pulling out an Angry Bird slingshot out of nowhere and sending Grounder after him. As Sonic, Tails, and Rockets are congratulating each other, Robotnik returns and demands his invention back. Tails instead aims it at the Doctor, who is terrified of being slowed down for a third time, only to be sped up to uncontrollable speeds instead, causing his egomatic hovercraft to fly into the distance and crash into a mountaintop. On the way back, Tails immediately goes back to getting annoyed with how slow the Sloths are, but Rocket reveals that he's standing in quicksand, causing Tails to panic, but Rocket reassures him by simply telling him to move slowly and he'll be fine. Sonic gives us the all-important life lesson that we should listen to sloths as we fade to black.
What? I love Tails' stupid face expression when he sings in a quicksand.
Yeah. Dirt. He's looking so pissed about it too. It's like,
Yeah.
You think he would have a more shocked expression, like, "Oh my God, quicksand!" But it's like, "Ugh, quicksand, yeah."
God damn it, not again!
I had no idea that.
Infinite lives.
Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
I was gonna say I had no idea that Sonic has experience of being a contractor.
Apparently he does.
Yeah, very expert construction work, honestly.
Yeah.
And a good fortification as well, huh?
Yeah, because, you know, he runs fast and he builds fast. Hoo-hoo! Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
But yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
Oh, sorry. You go.
Okay, but yeah, like the whole deal with like, oh, we're gonna trick Sonic with this fake schoolhouse, and then Sonic dresses up as like a crossing guard, and like Scratch like instantly like recognized like, oh, that's no crossing guard, that's Sonic. So yeah, it's one of the few times they can recognize Sonic in disguise.
Yeah. They don't often show it, but Scratch is actually the smarter of the two.
Yeah.
And like sometimes they show that. They show that he is actually smart. So, you know, to an extent, obviously.
Yeah.
I also forgot to mention it in the script. There's like this moment when Robotnik is talking at the beginning of the episode about like the sloths, and Grounder just for no reason goes, "What?" Or not Grounder, Scratch. God damn it.
Scratch. Yeah. He's just like, ah.
Probably hence your inclusion of it.
Yeah. I thought I wanted to like include like that in the YouTube poop like more properly, just like have like that sound spammed, but I couldn't figure a way to work it in, so I just included it at the end. Apparently, it's supposed to be the sound of him like gulping nervously, but he just goes wow.
Yeah. It's a very loud gulp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably how he just always sounds when he's gulping, as opposed to he goes like.
Yeah, definitely don't want him around breakfast time. Yeah.
I just love there's almost like a full minute of episode where he just destroys Robotic's entire lab, or Robotic doesn't even do anything about it.
Yeah.
He's just standing there.
Yeah. He's waiting. I'm waiting.
It's such a stupid joke too. I he's like, it can curtail molecular movement. And Scratch just puts it on his head. Wow, it works! It's already curtailed my movements. He just stumbles around for a minute.
I mean, I was expecting Robotnik just to come running in and say like, "Stop it!" But no, he just stands there the whole time, just watching Scratch destroy his entire lab. It's like,
Sometimes I feel like these episodes only have 5 minutes of story, and the rest is just filled up with random slapstick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Which, you
how
know,
else could we
is
extend
fine.
this episode with sloths?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they found a way. They're like, all right, Ian James Corlett, no coconuts in this episode, but you can voice this sloth. Do it for half of the episode. You've got like 6 lines of dialogue. It needs to take up 15 minutes.
Well, it fits the story, I suppose. I gotta admit, the first time we panned through their house, I didn't even know there were actually people. I thought like, oh, they have weird toys, or like, is this an abandoned house or something? But it's like the very subtle animation that actually do move. Like, oh,
Yep.
they're people. So hey, good job, animators.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that Rocket is the only one that talks.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Yeah.
The rest don't say anything. They don't even have names. It's just Rocket and his dad, sister, and mom.
Yeah.
Rocket's sister, Rocket's mum, Rocket's dad, as the Sonic
Yeah.
Wiki calls it.
They should go to Cream's mom's house.
Yeah. Yeah, they try to have a conversation and poor Vanilla's just left there awkward.
I can imagine they're so slow that they can't be bothered to talk.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That could be the...
Probably.
Yeah, Rocket's the only one who's fast enough to be able to talk with normal people.
Yeah.
I did like the multiple jokes of him demonstrating his speed by just falling.
Yeah.
Which is a real thing that sloths do. Not because they're like trying to, but because they're so stupid that they will mistake their own arm for a tree branch and grab onto that.
Yeah.
Wonderful pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of funny once they all get zapped with the fast beam and they all look as though they're high on sugar.
Yeah.
Especially Rocket, yeah. I'm kind of surprised it took so long in the episode for Sonic to get hit by the laser. You thought that, that's going to be the plot of the episode, but it takes until the last 5 minutes of the episode before it actually happens.
Yeah. And instead it's Robotnik who keeps getting hit by the laser.
But admittingly, it's a fun twist. It makes the episode more interesting that way.
Yeah.
I love how accepting he is of it every time it happens, too. He's just like, I'll be back in 1 hour.
I guess there's no point for him to be angry. He can't do anything anyway.
Yep. He's like, well, this is my life for the next 60 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the ending was great when he gets it with the fast beam. And he's like going out of control. It's like, I can't send this for an hour. Hey, where am I to come from?
Also, I want to give brief props. I mean, not brief. I always want to give props to Long John Baldry's performance, but in this episode in particular, he had the forethought that when Robotnik is slow, he never rolls his R's.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah,
it would really take forever to get anywhere.
Yeah, I, Doctor Robotnik.
Robotnik.
Imagine if they did that. He actually did that, and then everyone would just end up using like his as sort of like a car sound effect in the
Yeah. And then Robotnik became a Cadillac.
Yeah. That was another joke I didn't end up even making for my YouTube poop, was just when he comes back from being slowed the first time, he just puts extra emphasis on rolling his R's. Can't you robots do anything right? I just wanted to have a.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it sound good.
It's not easy, no. I was kind of surprised at the one moment where Scratch was shooting his laser at them and he hit the gong and it bounces back, that it didn't hit Scratch and Grounder. That's such a typical
it didn't
joke.
hit anything.
Yeah.
It's like such a moment you're waiting for. It's like, oh, here it comes, but nope.
Yeah, the laser bounces off of just regular rocks later in the episode, but it doesn't bounce off of a metal gong?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's zap-proof or something.
Yeah. God, I speaking of the gong, I love when it first comes up and Sonic just like gives it to Rocky. He's like, "You're useless here. At least keep lookout." He says, "Ring the gong if you see anything." And Rocky's like, "Okay." He just lifts up the hammer and beats it. Sonic's like, "You see trouble." He was just gonna be like, "I saw a tree."
I saw Sonic.
And credit for Rocket, he was in time. I was almost expecting Sonic to have already beaten Scratch and Grounder, and only then his gong actually hits.
Yeah.
Oh, Scratch.
Yeah, I was expecting the plot point to be that he was going to warn them, but he was too slow to hit the gong, and Scratch and Grounder actually got the jump on them. But no, props to him for being useful for once. He actually hit the gong.
Yeah.
Time,
yep. Oh yeah, one thing that kind of surprised me about this episode is that after seeing Tails' not so good handwriting, we find out that he's like 4.5 years old, and I'm like, apparently I never noticed that, but apparently this makes like the youngest version of Tails, because like in Sad AM he was like 10, and yeah, in the games, well, at least in Sonic Heroes he was labeled as 8, I think. But yeah.
Yep, 8.
So yeah, it's definitely the youngest version of Tails in any official Sonic media, which is quite surprising.
And yet still one of the most efficient one. More than CTM, at least.
Yeah. Well, there were planes for Sad AM, but that didn't go anywhere.
Poor Tails. Oh, well.
Yeah.
At least here he's got something to do.
Yeah, especially when he sometimes gets his own spotlight episodes. Yeah. All done by the best kid voice actor for Tails. Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive for a real kid. You must have had a lot of hours of work, because man, that's 65 episodes or so.
Yeah,
And
quite
he's
a
the
bit.
main character, so that must have been quite a lot of voice lines yet to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was this episode. Any other statements? Everyone impressed by Grounder's tennis abilities?
Yeah, why wasn't this guy in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games?
There you go.
Or in like Sega Superstar Tennis.
Oh yeah, Superstar Tennis.
But he said tetanus.
Tetanus?
No, tennis.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I missed
this
both.
goes what?
But oh yeah, that
Grounder's gonna impress you all with his tetanus skills. Honestly, though, like jokes aside, he actually was pretty impressive with that tennis racket because, like, when he was trying to catch them with double baseball mitts, he couldn't get a single one. But the second he pulls out that tennis racket, he gets all 4 of them,
Yeah,
and then does it again when they try and get back in.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was surprising to see them so efficient.
Yeah, I guess the reason why he wasn't in Sega Superstar Tennis is that he would just be too OP.
Yeah.
So-
Probably.
Yeah.
He should have been the final boss.
Oh, yeah.
Grounded
Yeah.
final boss. Perfect.
Yeah, oh, long time no see, Sonic.
Yeah. I also like the moment when like he's trying to like shoot Sonic with the ray, and Scratch is like laying into him for missing, and he's like, "How can I slow him down if he won't slow down so I can zap him?"
Yeah.
Nice little phrase, yeah. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think Scratch and Grounder are underappreciated
Yeah.
in the Sonic fandom.
Yeah. They need more love. And not just Grounder being on top for once. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. There's just this weird part where, while they're laughing, Grounder just pulls out an oil can and oils his shoulder, and it's not like relevant or anything. It just happened.
The animation
I
just
thought
warmed.
it happened so fast that I thought it was like a coffee mug with a straw in it. Like, why did he just pull out a cup just to put it back away?
Yeah, like I thought he was like, pulling up a cut. It's like, oh yeah, cheers, we're so happy. But yeah, it's so brief that it's like, yeah, what's the point of pulling it out?
It was so much funnier when I thought it was a cup. He just like he pulls it out and swings it to the side and then puts it back. I'm like, not even gonna drink from it or anything. I can understand if you were gonna like drink from it, like, oh, it's celebratory toast. But no, it's just oiling his shoulder. Oh yeah, Tails in his manly chin.
Yeah.
Sonic, what are we going to do?
It makes me think of that one of those face apps that makes you. I think it's that one of the Chad faced.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, the Adventures of Sonic Tails is the ultimate Chad. Yeah.
Look,
Alrighty.
Sonic, I became 10 years older.
Yeah.
So, and
We
if
should
we...
get.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say we should get like Christopher Welch to voice that version of Tails with just the manly chin, because he's clearly still fond of the role, but even though he's way too old to play it now.
Oh yeah.
Would be cool. Yeah, why not? I mean, if Brian Drummond keeps coming back, then Mike Kentatilli has to come back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is he even still around nowadays?
Christopher Welch, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a convention where he went to that Kalina Shaughnessy and Kate Higgins were both at, and they all made a promotional video together where they each did Tails. But,
Oh,
like,
I thought that was Bradley Pierce there. The
no, that
Saturday-
was Christopher Welch.
Oh.
But he's the only one who can't recreate the voice anymore.
Yeah, he tried. He did his
Yeah.
best. You know, it's admirable.
Yeah, clearly his balls have dropped, but give him effort.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't make any reference about like his voice being deep, and he would have been like, "I got older." That would be his only excuse.
To be fair, I think his voice was actually higher than Kate's.
Oh wow.
Oh, maybe.
But like he still sounded like a man doing a kid's voice. He's like, 3 tails.
Still neat.
Yeah.
Should look that up. I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you listen to Charlie Adler, he still can do the voice.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I just recently saw so Charlie Adler's been posting some videos on TikTok. And one theme he's been doing is voice actor workouts. I did not know Charlie Adler was so fucking jacked. Dude is beefy. He's just doing workouts while doing voices, and he did eventually do one with Snively, and I'm like, hell yeah, Snively, he remembers.
I'll have to find that out because I'm kind of interested in seeing the Snively bits that he does.
It's a shame he doesn't use anymore. He didn't show up in the Tiny Toons recreation, did he? Charlie Adler?
I don't know. I haven't seen much of the reboot, so.
Yeah. I was surprised to find out he was Michael Bay's Starscream. I did not know that.
Huh. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, I think the last time I saw him, Charlie Adler, and anything was that Rocco's Modern Life special where he came back to reprise the big,
Big head.
The big heads. Yeah, he came back to reprise the big heads.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. I remembered he had a cameo in an episode of Ben 10 where he played alien versions of Cow and Chicken.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He is incredibly talented.
Oh yes.
Even the caveman from Thunder Lizards is there. How nice. But yeah, that's.
Even
voiced
the.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even voiced the Smurf.
Indeed.
Roger.
My greatest honor.
All right, and the original Spike from My Little Pony.
Oh yeah. Which I never was really a fan of like the original Spike. I think it's just because of the voice. So I guess out of all the roles Charlie Adler's done, it's like Spike's not his best in my opinion. Though he does great in others, Snively and Hamburglar and all that.
Still has quite a resume. Professor Monkey for a head.
It was very prominent during the 90s, with all those roles,
Almost like Jim Cummings, but not as much longer afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He still does stuff. But let's move on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Sylvia will start complaining again.
Yeah.
It's like, move on.
Yeah, we spent an hour on the first episode.
Yeah.
And most of it was about feet.
Yeah.
We feet fetishists. Oh boy.
It's the feet episode.
Feeties.
Indeed. So back to Sonic X. We have a 3-parter, kind of.
Yeah, I was going through like the list of Sonic X comics to try and avoid any sudden jumps in continuity. So like the plan we have going right now is like, okay, today we'll do 3 episodes, and then after that it's back to the 2 issues thing until like another 3 for like many years to come. Yeah.
Because we had a 2-parter bit kind of going on. Alrighty, but yeah, Euan, good sir. I believe you have to do the synopsis of this one. Have a blast.
Yep, I should be doing this one. Because I only just finished it like half an hour before we actually started the stream.
Naughty. Now doing your homework again, huh?
I know. Shame on me.
I'm just as guilty.
Yeah, as well as, Luke.
How dare you.
Right?
Oh, now you're paying attention.
You mentioned my name.
The moment we just mentioned your name, and you're like, wait, what?
He had a tough day. He just woke up.
Yeah. Oh, so he was napping again.
I'm listening.
While I was snoring.
It's only Christmas shopping. Give him some slack, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So, Sonic X Issue 7 takes this job and shovel it. In Station Square, 2 workers in the sewers notice something that wasn't on their map, being a door that leads into what looks like an old secret lab. However, they get startled by a rustling noise in the darkness, as they think they better call someone in to investigate. Which, of course, in the shadows, it's revealed that it's a particular robot is activating.
Dun dun dun.
Gasp. A few hours later, at Washington, Agent Topaz, Rouge the Bat, and Captain Westwood explain to the President about the discovery at Station Square, where he orders Topaz and Rouge to investigate while making sure that they keep the whole thing quiet. Though before the Captain could object to this, the President with his secretary leave for a meeting as Topaz and Rouge leave behind an enraged Westwood, angry that despite being the captain of Topaz's unit, he's been left out of all the best missions ever since Rouge the Bat joined them. He then gets an idea that if he could recruit Sonic into Gun, then he'd start getting good missions again. Just then, Agent... How the hell do you pronounce that? Cheong?
Yeah,
Chung?
Chung.
Chung?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's call him Soldier Guy. Yeah.
Professor Soldier
Agent-
Guy. Agent Soldier Guy.
Pong. Agent Dude. Agent Dude brings a report of an unidentified object in the desert, not far from Station Square. Westwood snatched the report, finding this to be a perfect opportunity to get Sonic to work for him, and thus tells Agent Dude to keep this quiet, as he will inform, quote-unquote, the President about this. Later on in the morning at the Thorndike residence, it's Chris's birthday, with him looking forward to seeing his parents for his birthday party tonight, only for Uncle Chuck to give Chris the best news we could get, that his parents can't make it, as they are lapping it up in Paris. This saddens Chris, but due to contracts, Sonic and his friends help cheer him up almost immediately. Mr. Tanaka tells Sonic that Captain Westwood is here to see him, where he tells the Blue Hedgehog that a doomsday device is located out in the desert, and that they could use his assistance, with this being orders from the President himself. While Sonic dismisses this, Chris tells him that he has to go if the President asks, even if it means missing Chris's party. So Sonic goes. Over at Station Square, Topaz and Rouge arrive at the manhole cover and head down into the sewers, with Rouge not being a fan of the smell. They check through the lab, which, while looking like equipment Eggman would use, these are decades older than what he would use nowadays. While Topaz fails to crack the passwords to the computers, Rouge notices small footprints leading behind some machinery, which they both go to check it out, but find nothing. Though Rouge questions if Topaz felt a breeze just then, not noticing the robot did a quick dash away from them. The radio operator calls Topaz and Rouge to return back to Gun HQ, as the President has an important mission for them, with the sewers being sealed off until they return. They both make their way out as they are being observed by the robot that must interface with these 2 ladies. Oh my. Meanwhile, at the desert, Captain Westwood orders the men to return to base. Sonic questions why, with Westwood telling him it has to be kept as secret as possible, whilst tricking Sonic into using his speed to dig up the sand of this doomsday device. While doing this, Westwood questions why Sonic hangs out with the whiny kid called Chris, which I highly approve of him, calling Chris a whiny brat. Which Sonic says he's under contract by Sega to saying he's an okay kid. Anyways, Westwood tells him to stop digging, as it's revealed the Doomsday device is a giant tripod machine. At the airport at Station Square, Topaz and Rouge tell the police officers to make sure no one gets into the room while they are gone. Rouge points out that she felt that breeze again as they board the helicopter. They take off for Gun HQ, unaware the robot has gotten on board, not wanting to let them out of its sights. Back at the desert, Sonic says he doesn't recognize it as one of Eggman's robots, with Westwood believing it must be alien in origin. But just then, a metal arm, which has what looks like a metal eyeball attached to it, looks down at the 2 and then fires its energy beam, which the 2 both narrowly dodge it, where the tripod raises to full height, emitting its chilling war cry. Well, unfortunately, I ran out of time to get an ooh-la sound, so I'll just go for... So that's close enough.
Interesting combo here.
Whilst Westwood is armed with his laser pistol, stoked about joining Gunn for this sort of action, Sonic is concerned without Tails or Power Ring that this fight is going to be a tough one. Sonic is able to dodge the giant feet of this tripod machine. Westwood fires his laser pistol, but a shield reflects this, almost hitting Sonic. As the blue hedgehog yells if anyone is in the machine, the tripod extends an electrical tentacle and swipes at him. Westwood yells at Sonic they must take it down without destroying it, just as he destroys its laser eye. After tying the tentacle in multiple knots, Sonic grabs the shovel and jumps to the top of the tripod, effortlessly tearing off the top of it, and digs the shovel into the circuitry, causing the tripod to short circuit and collapse down into the pit. Westwood congratulates Sonic for a job well done, as he'll be calling the salvage team to collect it and deliver it to Area 99 to being studied, much to Sonic not thinking it's a good idea. Westwood continues on that they would be considered heroes and tries to convince Sonic to join Gunn, but lets slip that the President had no idea about all of this despite Westwood saying otherwise. This annoys Sonic, where he buries the damaged tripod under the sand while saying that despite Chris being a whiny brat, he doesn't lie, which is kind of up for debate, I suppose. Sonic hands back the shovel saying, "Do I really need to tell you what you can do with your job offer? Shovel it, boy." And Sonic leaves Westwood out in the desert as his helicopter was destroyed in the battle. Meanwhile, at the landing strip outside of Washington, Topaz and Rouge arrive where they are greeted by the President, where he tells them that Dr. Eggman has been spotted over at Paris and that they need to go there to find out what he's up to. The robot is unable to leave the aircraft due to too many people, so chooses to remain on board as it believes that these two might help it find the answers it needs. Back at Station Square, Sonic arrives back at the Thorndyke mansion, where he unfortunately arrived just as the party was about to begin, where Chuck shows a video message from Chris's parents that they are going to put Chris in an orphanage for his birthday, and everyone cheers except for Chris. But fine, then, okay, in reality, his parents are inviting Chris and his friends to Paris for a special party at the World's Fair, and everyone cheers. The end.
Yeah, I can see why you chose this issue.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I was just saying, I could tell why you want to choose to do this issue.
Yeah.
War of the Worlds.
Naturally.
You didn't even sing a song. How dare you?
Well, I could, but then this whole stream would have been copyrighted.
That's true. Duke Nukem versus the tripods. What more do you want?
Yeah, I was going to include an ooh-la sound effect, but I forgot to put it through the like Vegas to shorten the clips sound effect down to a reasonable enough size.
I'm very disappointed in you.
I know.
Not
Hence
even
why
a
I
joke
had
about
to...
walking from your favorite War of the World movie.
Yeah. But hence why I had to do the whole sort of improvised as its war cry.
Close enough.
Yeah.
That would be more terrifying if those machines made that sound. We should
Shut
send
it,
those
Black.
sound effects to Jeff Wayne. Here, use those in your musical next time.
Here you go, Jeff Wayne. As greatly as I appreciate the ooh-la, I think this might work a little better.
You'll be very impressed, I'm sure.
Yeah. Then they're having Richard Burton saying, "They emitted deafening howls which roared like thunder."
How terrifying. But yeah, reference to War of the Worlds musical, for those who are confused.
Yeah. Even Sylvia's getting into the mood.
Yes, that's what gets her in the mood, War of the Worlds.
Hi, Debu.
Yeah, anything else to say about this episode?
I was going to say, I did admit out the part of the police officer that had the changing accents again.
Oh, the stereotypical accent. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess that seems to be a running gag in the comics. Right? Like, oh yeah, this random miscellaneous character from the show. Like, oh yeah, let's throw him into the comics and just give him random accents whenever he shows up.
Yeah, I think Officer Crabtree from Hello Hello could do a better French accent than him.
Well, it's red, so it's on you to do the accent. Yeah, Sala, what's up?
It's because that character from the anime had 3 different voice actors over the course of the show. So, and his accent was always changing. Yeah, I believe in his first appearance he had like the heavy Irish accent.
Oh yeah.
So in the comics they made the joke that he's an actor on the side and always playing foreign characters.
Yeah. Let's see.
Fair enough.
Oh,
hi, Davey.
What better want to point out? Noticed. I saw that when Sonic found out that Westwood was lying and picked up the shovel, I was under the impression he's going to brain him with it.
Just whacking him over the head with it.
Goddamn liar!
Yeah.
Damn you, Wesker! Yeah.
Like almost like a TF2 moment with the soldier just whacking the spy in the head with his shovel. I imagine that's what Sonic would have done. It's like, you lied to me, Patong.
You dare lie to me?
There we go.
So imagine like, and of course if Westwood's still like conscious, like, what are you doing, Sonic? No, please, don't do anything bad negative to me, Sonic. Please don't. And then Sonic's like, I'm going to bury you. And he does so.
Bury him
Literally
alive.
just burying him like with his head sticking up in the sand.
Oh, I can imagine.
Help!
I can imagine quoting John Goodman from The Big Lebowski as he smashes that car.
This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. One of the greatest censors of all time. I thought, Luke, you were going to mention that when he picks up the shovel, his arm is blue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Blue Arms, the themed episode for Dissected Alive.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I can pretty much also see it as the Sonic version of the Arthur clenched fist meme.
Oh.
Arthur clenched.
And Wesker's here, Sonic's annoying little sister.
I told you not to touch it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but like despite Chris being in the issue, I think there's kind of one thing I kind of like when like, oh, Chris's parents won't be coming to the party, but he's like, oh, at least I still have my friends, and it shows like Amy, Tails, and Cream hugging him. It's like, yay, finally he's not obsessing over Sonic.
Yeah, I just kind of find it funny, like how almost immediately after like, you know, Chuck gives the bad news, but yet then immediately everyone just suddenly starts hugging Chris, and he's like, oh, you guys are the best, sort of thing.
I've also noticed just how huge that cake is. There's a stripper in there or something.
Yeah.
Ella.
I mean, I would say that's inappropriate, but we do know that Chuck was only 14 when he had Nelson, so.
Yeah, so.
Oh, Chris, it's about time you learn about the birds and the bees.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about Flickies and Charmy.
Nope.
The Flickies and Charmy, Jesus.
Sounds like a joke to make there.
Yeah. So yeah, how about the fact that Emerald is suddenly in the story?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing because the anime never really explained where he came from. It's kind of very random. Eggman suddenly had him. I mean, I don't remember the details, but I remember it being very confusing and rushed.
Well, like in the show, all we got was just, oh, he was suddenly discovered in an abandoned warehouse, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised how much the comics. Sorry, go ahead, Sala.
Yeah, he just kind of shows up like Bokun is like, oh, there's Amel. Let's all right, that's our new character. Moving on.
Very disappointing, yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised how much the comic actually has valid things to do to the show. I mean, I thought it was just gonna be like random little one-off stories that like are just kind of like boring, cheap knockoffs. But they feel like they should legitimately have been Sonic X episodes very often. I mean, last week we had an actual awesome episode. I just love the concept of, and while this one isn't as exciting, it does do important things like actually properly introduce Emerald, yeah, which the anime never did. Oh well. So yeah, that gives the comic a lot of value, I suppose. Like it legitimately deserves to exist together with the anime because they really are putting in efforts to fill in the holes.
Yeah, it just really sucks that this comic was like never given the like graphic novel reprints or anything. So yeah, it's kind of shared the same deal with Archie Sonic, where the best way you can do it is the best way you can read this content is just looking up scans, because Sega or Archie sure as hell ain't gonna bother bringing it back.
Alas, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And many fans wept, such as Melty.
Well, funny enough, I remember there was this one guy that was trying to start like a petition to like get the comics like re-released or like graphic reprints or whatnot, and you know, no one like those kind of petitions and whatnot. That never really went anywhere. Oh well. But it's kind of weird. Like, if you think by now, like, you know, with fan content, with games and whatnot, you'd think there's at least someone that would put in the effort to, like, you know, trace over these images and, like, make them, like, HD quality with, like, you know, the colors and the shadings and everything, you know. Maybe do a better job than what Archie Sonic did with the reprints, but, yeah. I mean, like, Archie reprints are fine. It's just the colors might be a little too oversaturated. But, yeah.
Yeah, too light.
Yeah, a bit too bright. Although they do sometimes fix up coloring errors, so, you know, that could be another opportunity, you know, for, like, tracing over and, you know, giving these Sonic X comics the updated treatments and also fixing up color mistakes, you know, like the blue arm detail.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully do a better job than a particular someone who's reissuing some of the stories.
Yeah, illegal copies, but yeah, we don't talk about that. No.
Yeah, it's a story of another time. Anyway, shall we move on to the next Sonic X comic?
Yeah. Pretty much the reason why I had to squeeze in another issue, because, like, you know, first issue, like, okay, it's single story, and then the next issue, it's part 1. Well, shit. So we had to convince Roger to throw in another one.
Yes.
So it's an extra treat for you guys. Yay!
Yay!
For you guys specifically. Sorry, Roger.
Yeah.
Suffer for our entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, lucky I have Sylvia helping me out with putting the scans in, so I can't complain too much anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Yeah, thank you, Sylvia.
Oh, very much, Sylvia.
Indeed.
Everyone say thank you in the chat. They don't care.
Anyway.
Bastards.
So who's doing the synopsis? Because I don't think anyone was there. Is this my turn?
I think Sal.
No, I did call it when I found out Emerald was in it.
All right.
Because no one else had claimed it, and then everyone's like, "I'm surprised Sala didn't claim it because Emerald's in it." I'm like, "Emerald's in it." I didn't prepare for, because I usually base my assumption of what I'm gonna cover based on like memory. So like I knew I wanted to cover Slow Going because I remember that episode. But like I've only read like a couple of the Sonic X comics, so I did not know in advance that Emerald was gonna be in this.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat too, because I really underestimated the comics with its, like, you know, actually sticking to canon and whatnot, because I thought they were just like a one-shot stories, not much light on canon, but no, there's definitely a lot of references here and there, and they do follow up previous comics.
Alrighty.
But yeah, so Sonic X issue 8 begins in Hawaii for some reason, where Stitch is throwing himself into a volcano, and you know, sucks to be him.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Stitch.
He committed suicide after. Yeah, he committed suicide when he found out he was gonna get the live-action remake.
Oh, yeah.
Do the volcano dance. Move 1, jump and say goodbye. My
And
favorite dance.
Then it goes to sepia tone and it says to be continued.
JoJo reference.
Dun, 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 dun. So anyways, our actual story begins in Paris, where, Big the Cat is there for some reason, doing some fishing in the river that I guess goes under the Eiffel Tower?
To be fair, there is a bridge right in front of the Eiffel Tower, but not underneath, no.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
But
Pretty sure the Eiffel Tower is above dry
so
ground.
Yeah.
I'll give it a pass.
And Nelson and I forget his wife's name, Chris's mom.
Lindsay.
Lindsay, yeah. Nelson and Lindsay are being typical rich people and are making the entire day, the entire city is going to celebrate Chris's birthday, whether they want to or not.
Gunpoint.
Euan's worse nightmare. Yeah.
The entire city of Paris has to see English words in the sky that say "Happy Birthday, Chris," and there's like a festival going on, and everyone is invited. Everyone seems to be having a good time. Topaz and Rouge are there looking for Eggman. Emerald is there looking for anyone who knows anything about his past, and Bokun is there, he wants sweets. He wants carnival food. I guess they got French toast in France. and somehow nobody notices Eggman and his giant elephant robot, which looks like it has someone in it.
Yeah, there's like someone in there, like running the stand.
No, that's one of the refreshment stands. It's not Eggman's.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I saw he has like a elephant robot later on, so I just assumed that was the same thing in disguise. But okay, yeah.
Could be.
Anyway, so back at the White House, Westwood is again talking to the president and being pissed off about Topaz getting special treatment, despite the fact that she's like actually earned it. Anyway, sorry, I read this real quick before we started. It's time for Chris and all of his friends to have cake, and there is a lot of kinds of cake for them all to choose from, and
then they all died of diabetes.
Yeah, they all died of diabetes. Eggman reveals that the reason he's here is because he is aware that he's somehow aware that Thorndike Industries will be unveiling a space shuttle, which Boko wonders why they even need when they have the egg carrier. To which Eggman points out that the egg carrier is suborbital, as if Eggman himself is incapable of making a space shuttle, I guess.
I guess he forgot about the events of Sonic 2,
Yeah. Yeah, he just, I guess, doesn't think he can make it to space on his own, so he's gonna steal the space shuttle for some reason. Froggy, or not Froggy, Big, and Froggy are attracted by the crowds and are wandering around. And and they spot Eggman. And they're the only ones to spot Eggman. Topaz and Rouge are looking all over for him and they can't find him even though he walks directly past them. So Westwood decides to be sneaky again, and he tells Topaz and Rouge that the president wants them back right away. But Rouge is like, "Nah, let's just stay here. I'll take the blame," which is kind of shockingly nice of Rouge, except that she mentions later on that like, "Oh, if we lose our jobs, I'll be fine."
Trying to look out for her gal pal.
Yeah.
But mostly herself.
Yeah. So Emerald is still following Topaz and Rouge around, hoping that they can reveal anything about him, but he's not finding a good opportunity to approach them. Not that he seems to be able to talk in the comics anyway, but like, I don't know, he's still following them.
Well, he gets
and then
Eggman
like
eventually. But,
okay. And so yeah, at the ceremony, the unveiling ceremony of the space shuttle, there's some short dude who is apparently drank way too many coffees and is very frantic that they should all get into their places. Lindsay comes out on the stage and dramatically reveals the space shuttle, which Eggman immediately goes to intercept. And that elephant is like a refreshment stand because it's like got the panel on the side. So I guess he's already trapped somebody.
I guess the human is like the flicky to that robot.
Maybe. And there was also an Eiffel Tower mascot that is somehow picked up a mother and child. And there's also somehow a roller coaster snake. And a giant mime robot, which very loudly says nothing. I love that little detail. There's even like an asterisk in there. It's like, yeah, it didn't say anything. What did you expect? It's a mime. So Sonic, Tails, and Amy quickly jump into action. Tails yeets a ring at Sonic, and Amy whips out her hammer, and they all go to town. Rouge and Topaz also jump into action, leaving Emerald frustrated again, as he's once again gotten so close to them, only for them to leave. He can catch them at any time. He's fast. Anyway, Froggy, or God damn it, I keep calling Big Froggy. Just because whenever I think of Big, I think Froggy. Anyway,
That's
so
90%
Big,
of his dialogue, sure.
Yeah. Big does indeed recognize Eggman and decides to help out. As Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are all fighting off the giant robots, and Rouge comes in and does like the slowest dive kick on the mime. She's in the same pose in 2 different frames. That's supposed to be her screw attack, but she's just doing dynamic entry from Naruto. Screw attack. And the mime almost lands on somebody, but Topaz saves him at the last second. Emerald manages to save her by, being fast because he's fast. Chris shockingly risks his life to save a random dog that is randomly tied to a post from the roller coaster snake bot, which again, I do not understand how that works. How is it a roller coaster snake? They also get attacked by the Eiffel Tower bot. Big the cat finally confronts Eggman, who tries to run away, but Big uses his expert fishing skills to nab the doctor, yank him back, and punch him in the face!
Yeah.
He just fucking does that.
He has a psychopathic face expression, too, jeez. I never seen him look so
I
intense.
love it. Eggman's like, what are you going to do to stop me from taking the shuttle? He's like, bam! Right in the nose. Yeah. And Eggman actually breaks his nose. And he ends up doing the node. He punched me at the node. It's just like a fun voice I like to do whenever anyone injures their nose. So I'm glad to see he's like actually talking like that. Nobody punched me. Sonic saves Chris, unfortunately, from the giant Eiffel Tower robot. He makes a pun about wrapping things up. And then they all run into a hall of mirrors, where, of course, confusion just runs abound. Classic House of Mirrors gag in any cartoon. Where like, oh, there he is. No, that's just a mirror. Where is he? Oh my God, there's 1,000 of them. It's all so confusing. And then, but he's like trying to attack Eggman, and Emerald has identified Eggman as his master for some reason. And he goes to defend Eggman, and we get it to be continued.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
I can't get over the change to Eggman's dialogue after he gets punched by my dude.
Yeah, it's one of the few times I actually like Big, because this comic shows he actually does something and not being the repetitive bastard thing that people keep
It would've-
jerking off of. Yeah, like,
it
oh,
would've
he
been-
shows up, obsessed over Froggy, and that's it. Yeah.
It would have been more awesome if Big just like hits him in the head with his own, like headbutts him, like take this.
I love it whenever Big gets a badass moment. It's awesome.
Yeah. Hooray! Finally doing something useful and not obsessing over that fucking frog. Yeah.
You know what? I suppose we could briefly talk about the fact that Big was brought up in the Twitter takeover when someone asked Shadow why Big made him smile, and Shadow had to reluctantly admit that Big's presence is calming.
Because he's so mellow.
Yeah, he's just a cool guy. And I just fucking love when he gets a badass moment like just Dex Eggman in the face.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Did anyone get any Sonic movie madness flashbacks when seeing the giant mime?
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh wow! So that's where you stole that idea, Roger.
This comic is from 2006, and my cartoon was from 2003. I was first. They
Five?
stole it from me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If I remember, that was Bill Gates' Ultimate Form, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Giant mime, and then it's put defeated by Roger himself. Yeah.
Randomness. But hey, it's in the title.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. Madness is in the title.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even remember your own cartoon names.
Nope. I rely on Melting Man to remember my own work more than I do.
There is one panel that I just don't understand what's going on here, but like where all the characters are sitting around the party table. You got Cream and Cheese. They look like high on diazepam, and Cream's body looks missing, like it's replaced by sticks. And also Ella looks pissed.
Where they're all eating cake at the party table.
Yeah. Like, yay! I guess Ella's like pissed off because like Chris's dad is like, oh, I'm gonna have like your friends like ride the rocket, and I guess she's not one of the friends. She's like, oh, I want to ride the rocket. Yeah.
Chick's head is also very big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck looks really creepy back there.
Yeah.
It's like he's got a duck
Also-
mouth or something.
Yeah. I love Tanaka just standing there, with a party hat on, looking completely unamused.
Yeah. Why am I here?
But Helen knows what's up. She's just staring at the cake.
Yeah.
There's just something about there's just something about seeing a character wearing a party hat, but with like just a completely neutral look on their face.
Yeah.
I think it's the irony that's so funny. But yeah, now that you mention it, Luke, why is Cream's body just a stick?
Yeah, what is up with that?
I mean, it looks like they decapitated her.
Yeah. I mean, and then I look at it like, wait, does she have like two left arms? But like, oh wait, that's supposed to be the ear. But like, still, that looks like it's part of the body.
Yeah.
Yes, she's becoming Spider-Man.
Tails also doesn't have a body.
Yeah.
His head is also
Oh
very
yeah.
animated.
And one of his tails is way bigger than the other one.
Yeah, one is like really like floofy, and then you have extra floofy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's like I drew it.
And
The artwork is almost close to the Too Many Hands artist, but not as bad.
Oh yeah, then you have Danny who's like completely zoned out.
Yeah.
Like, high on drugs. Yeah.
Because everyone's got normal eyes, but he's just got dots at the moment. It's just like,
Yeah.
I'm tripping out this red stuff.
I can feel the colors. Yeah.
the colors feel so bright. And of course we got best girl Helen, who is only interested in them cakes.
Yes.
Oh,
It's like, screw Chris's birthday, I'm after the cake.
Because Helen deserves all the cake. Yeah.
What is Chuck's expression though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's funny because it's also supposed to be saying yay, but yet I don't think he's just pulling that off. His face is exactly the sort of thing you'd be saying yay to.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's like, these kids don't know I've spiked the cakes. And Danny's like, I know. I know.
I also love the panel where Tobas is told to return. She looks really surprised. It looks like she's going to eat the watch.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that fruit by the foot? No.
Or she's got like candy in the watch that she eats.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny because a bit later in the panels, like you see that the watch is gone, so she has eaten it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was like blue raspberry licorice. Yeah.
It's one of those candy watches.
Yeah.
That's just how dedicated these secret agents are to secrecy.
Oh yeah.
He's like,
They eat their
communication
equipment
over.
after
Hum.
they use it.
No evidence.
Yeah, forget about like this message will self-destruct. Now we'll just make it out of candy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
It makes me think, like, you know, in those crime dramas when where the person has to destroy the phone so it will get tracked. I can imagine like it's all made of candy, so I have to eat it after they're done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, and then one bit I kind of find amusing where like Chris and Sonic are peeking out of the curtain. It's like, oh wow, that's a big crowd, and his dad's like, oh, it's not, it's not polite to peek out of the curtain that way. And then he pushes them aside and then does it anyway. It's like, oh wow, that is a big crowd.
Yeah.
With the two people, the guy on the left, he kind of resembles Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh,
Yes!
Oh god, yeah, it does.
Oh my god! I was so close to talking about that in my synopsis. I'm like, why the fuck is Leisure Suit Larry in the crowd? If I could have thought of a character that the girl looks like, I would have mentioned that. That like, oh, Leisure Suit Larry is in the crowd talking to, I don't know, Lucy Liu. I don't know.
Yeah, Lucy, yeah.
Yeah, it's just straight up Leisure Suit Larry.
Well, it's official. The crossover we thought we never needed.
Yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry and Roots the Bat. What a team they would make.
Oh man.
Endless sex jokes.
Oh yeah.
Just one is successful and the other not.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just going to say, like, and of course, while Lindsay's basically on stage, like, saying, hello, everyone, sort of thing, and yet there's someone else on the screen that isn't her. It's like, who's she?
Yeah,
Even
what the
though
hell's
the-
up with that? Like, the monitor's supposed to, like, represent, oh, it's her to, like, show, like, the people in, like, the way back. But, she has orange hair, but the monitor shows she's blonde. Like, what the hell?
It's a fake.
Maybe they're French monitors, and they did it just to mock the Americans.
Who knows? Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people are clapping, but yeah, you don't see their heads. So you imagine they're just holding their arms all the way up, like, yay!
They're all on the ground and just like,
Yeah, sitting on the ground and just having to raise their hands up just to be in shot. Although it's kind of funny just seeing where she pushes the button, and of course then the next page is basically an advert for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. I didn't get that the version I saw from Grabber.
Yeah. It's from the Read Comic Online's one version I'm reading at.
Ah, that. Yeah, the
Where
Grabber version surprisingly doesn't have the ads.
Does anyone think how Sonic looks a bit off model after Eggman activates the robots? I don't know, like his nose looks a bit
Oh
bigger
yeah.
and
Oh
Yeah. His nose is huge and his eyes are small. Also, his face is kind of like pointing upwards, but his head is pointing downwards.
Kind of an odd thing, really. It's almost like he's reverting to his classic state.
Yeah, because his quills look like fat and stubby, yeah.
Yeah, he just definitely looks very off.
Yeah. Yeah, Robotnik pushes the button which not only activates the robots, but also fucks up Sonic's head.
What have you done, Eggman?
My nose! Or should I say, my
Foreshadowing.
dude.
Yeah.
My dude.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Robotnik, yeah, Robotnik's got quite the interesting looking mustache. It's not like the bushy one as usual. It's like much more like pointy. Yeah.
Yeah,
French,
like Waluigi.
part of
Yeah.
his French outfit, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a beret and a more French mustache.
It does look a bit similar to movie Robotnik's moustache, namely
Yeah.
the third one.
But as soon
Oh,
as Big
yeah.
punches him, it turns into the old mustache again. So Big
Yeah,
Sticket's punches are a grooming way. Anti-grooming.
Oh yeah, because that would explain like the sproing sound effect.
Yeah, yeah. It even comes with its own sound effect. The sproing of his mustache returning to normal. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, okay. So like I was talking about, like I love that his voice changes when he gets punched in the nose. It does bother me how they've decided to depict that with him saying node instead of doze, which is usually how my doze. I still love it though that they did that.
Oh yeah, there's that one weird shot when they enter the Hall of Mirrors and Topaz is like, "Oh, we gotta grab Eggman or else we'll lose our jobs." And then Rouge is like in this weird pose, like she's talking, but it really isn't. Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, like she was supposed to say something, but then it's like nothing.
Yeah, like, ah, shit, I forgot the lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the guy
Line.
line.
Yeah.
I think maybe she was gonna mention like, "Hey, look how tall I am now compared to you,
Yeah.
shorty."
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, haha, you're short.
I'm surprised they didn't do more gags with the mirrors, because that's always, it's always an easy opportunity whenever you're doing a Hall of Mirrors is to make like reflection gags
Yeah.
out of like the characters looking weird. But they didn't really
Yeah.
do anything with it other than just
With Topaz.
Chris looking like an AOSTH movie character.
Yeah.
He got possessed
Or-
by Ditto. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna
Yeah.
say he looks like Ditto there.
Yeah.
No Thorndike.
Yeah.
And Sonic looks like a melted ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's
Before
predicting
the
the Sonic
meme
ice
came.
cream bar. Yeah.
Yeah. I love. I don't know if it was the intent or not, but for some reason my favorite is just Tanaka looking very normal.
Yes.
It's like he was expecting something weird, and it's just him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you. It's like that Undertale bag gag.
After everything, it's still you.
Yeah.
Or rather, despite everything, it's still you.
Yeah.
Also, like Emerald just pulling a cannon out of his chest out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Sure,
it's
yeah.
it's
It
like a
almost
cool
looks like a-
badass. It's like a cool badass moment, but
Yeah.
when I just see that, I'm now just saying, when the Viagra kicks in.
Oh god.
Well, I mean, now that I look at it, it kind of looks more like one of those like bulky flashlights from back then.
Oh,
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
handheld flashlight.
retro.
Just yeah.
he's like, I will blind the hedgehog.
Be purified by the light.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, I mean, Robotnik was flashing in Adventures of Sonic, so now it's Emerald's turn to flash.
Thank goodness Elise isn't here. She'll be very unhappy with you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We lucked out that Elise wasn't here because we've gotten quite a few sex jokes in today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys' night.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm. I even cut some inappropriate jokes from my YouTube poop.
Yeah.
Partly because I didn't think she'd appreciate them.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Especially after what you did with Tails at the end of that one.
Yeah.
Especially
God, it felt raw.
Yeah.
But the joke was so obvious I couldn't.
Yeah.
I put
Should've
so much
swapped it
effort into that, by the way.
Should have swapped it with a botnik.
I couldn't because Sonic's. I don't want to even say it out loud, but Sonic says, "Come on, Tails."
Yeah. YouTube pooping 101. Always gonna have a sex joke in there.
Oh, dearie me.
Indeed. Shall we move on to the next one?
I suppose so.
Yeah, my
Well,
station
to
for
be
today.
better. Otherwise, we're here all night just talking about sex jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's quite the sausage party this stream. Hoo-hoo.
Oh man, but
Especially
all these,
about it, because
Oh shit.
there's the fact like what time it is already.
with all these sex jokes, Melting Man has Robotnik's face expression here.
Yeah. Why is he doing the Dr. Evil pose?
Yeah, $1,000.
The $1 million.
Oh, that's it.
1 million
That's
dead
it?
hedgehogs.
I was not expecting to see Holland King 2007 in the chat, by the way. Welcome, Holland King.
Someone you
Hey.
know?
The King of Yeah, he's a guy who watches Sylvia and I's streams.
Oh,
He just found me because I was playing Just Cause 3 one day because he likes Just Cause, and he subscribed to me and not subscribed. He followed us. He followed Sylvia and I on Twitch, and he's been a regular viewer of ours ever since.
awesome. Yeah, Just Cause is a great game. I love those too.
Yeah. He was very upset with how I took out the final boss of Just Cause 3.
Oh, you just cheated. Just tied him to the
Yeah.
volcano or something.
That's what. Because like it's this gold helicopter with a shield, and it's supposedly very hard to beat. But the game taught me that the most effective way to take out a helicopter is to tether it to the ground, and it worked.
And you're right that the volcanoes, you're gonna send him right into the volcano as well
Yep.
for extra points. Well, not literally. but- Yeah, I love that game. That's great. My golden standard how an open world game should look like, and aesthetics as well.
Oh no, so disappointed by the sequel.
Yeah, Just Cause 4 was a little disappointing. And now there's no more part 5, it seems. But we're going off limits again.
Yeah, we are indeed going off topic
Yeah.
again. Thank you
Right,
for stopping by, Holland King.
Yeah. So, right, who's doing the synopsis for this one?
I am.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We have to hurry up before he falls asleep.
No, hold it. I'm good. Okay. I was gonna start. As I wrote here, I was gonna point out in the cover, like I like how Eggman is doing the Dr. Evil pinky pose.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Okay. Wicked Sweet Shuttle Shenanigans Part 2. We see the aftermath of the destroyed French robots by Sonic & Co. in Paris. Dr. Eggman wants to steal Mr. Thorndyke's spaceship and ran into the Hall of Mirrors with the heroes in pursuit. Eggman, who now has a huge schnoz after Big the Cat punched his face in, presses a button and a giant spider robot comes to life. Sonic, in the Hall of Mirrors, sees Eggman walking about and doesn't notice Emerald behind him, revealing a huge cannon from his chest. Thank God it wasn't any lower. But then the huge robot spider punches a hole in the roof, hitting Sonic out of the way. After realizing that what he saw was a reflection, Sonic goes into a super spin and attacks the robot spider. All the heroes are protecting each other from the spider's wrath. Even Big has to rescue Froggy. Eggman, after going big head mode, tells his robot to leave and get the spaceship as the others would now be distracted. Boken uses this opportunity to get more cotton candy. Deco and Boko do their best Monty Python King Arthur impressions. After Amy rescues Tails, who now has a broken face, Mr. Tanaka finds an unconscious Chris in the rubble. Chris suddenly wakes up as Mr. Tanaka praises his ancestors. Chris and Tanaka meet up with Rouge and Topaz, who emerge from the rubble, and from the smell they're in Paz's sewer system, so no difference from the surface then. After Chris meets with Big, the group wonder how they can get out. Tails, who has now been possessed by a demon, hears a cry for help from below. Silently being watched by Emerald, Tails gives Sonic his trusty wing, which he could use to tunnel into the sewers below. Sonic then jumps up to deal with the Scrambler. As Sonic attacks the giant spider, Emerald goes after him to get to take his ring in order to protect his master. Tails, Amy, who can somehow fly, and Rouge get the humans out of the hole. Topaz decides to dab for some reason. They said that they will come for Big and Froggy later, but really they just want to ditch him. The group watched Sonic destroying the spider's leg, and Tails tells the humans to run for cover as they go back to lift up Big. Sonic realizes that his ring power is wearing off, so he has to wrap it up. Emerald concurs and wonders where the two-tailed one gets his rings. Tails, Amy, and Rouge had trouble getting Big up as he's big-boned. Froggy leaps up, and somehow that was what was weighing Big down. Who knew? As they got out of the hole, Big tells the trio to leave as he goes to fish Froggy up. Sonic and Emerald destroy 2 of the robot spider's legs. Back with Eggman and the robots, they are within reach of nicking the shuttle, but they were stopped by the Thorndikes and Cream. Mrs. Thorndike threatens Eggman, who became a huge balloon. As she was taught by Jackie Chan himself, she smacked his honker. In retaliation, Eggman shoots a webbed net trapping the Thorndikes. Eggman gives the keys to the egg carrier to Deco and Boko as he and Bokon go off to steal the shuttle. Big notices that 2 of the legs of the giant spider robot has fallen off. Sonic falls, but is then saved by Tails. Big gets Froggy and escapes just as the spider crashes into the building. Emerald remains hidden within the rubble. Its systems have rebooted but needs to find his master for repairs. After reuniting with everyone, Sonic and friends hear a loud noise and see Eggman blasting away with the shuttle. Sonic wants to go after him, but he was too far away. Chris says, a dad can always build another. Topaz says that Gun might be able to track him down. This makes Sonic ruin his mascara. Down the hole, Emerald gets out his jetpack and blasts after the shuttle. After getting inside, Emerald collapses in front of Eggman, who refers to him as Robotnik. Eggman has no idea where this robot came from, but he plans to use it against Sonic. Sonic and friends witness the giant spider robot collapsing into the sewer system, hoping nobody is down there. Chris wants to find his mum and dad. After Chris meets up with his family, Topaz reports into Albert Wesker, who is all pissy with him for disobeying orders, but says that he has recovered blueprints that looks like the gun drones from Sonic Adventure 2. Mr. Thorndike sadly can't ditch his son in space as his shuttle was stolen by Eggman, but he says, "Don't worry, son, I could build another spaceship, and maybe buy and ruin a social media platform as well." Sonic says that someday he can take Chris to his world where he can see some real excitement. The end.
How exciting. Alrighty then.
Yeah.
And
Really
what that
exciting.
real excitement is, well, yeah, that'll have to wait for next time, because, yeah, next time's going to be a very interesting 2-part story.
Pingers!
Oh, no.
No, they are not going to get laid.
I just want to check on Amy Law here, but can she actually fly?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering about. I was like, why is she trying to help lift Big into the air?
Yeah, that is
Because we got Tails and Rouge trying to lift him up. What is Amy doing? How is Amy?
Yeah.
She has a high jump when she hits the hammer on the ground, but that's not really what we see her do.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed she would just be there to help lift Big, from the ground, and then Tails and Rouge would help out and try and push him up. But no, she's just floating because reasons.
I mean, did Chuck give her hover shoes off screen or something?
Maybe.
That's the most likely explanation, because otherwise it just makes no sense. No.
And I do
Yeah.
kind of find it odd that apparently Froggy is much more heavier than Big. So I'm like, okay, so I guess by that logic, then Big is not really, that fat and weight. No, he's just very, very fluffy. Yeah, he's like a skinny body with so much floof around him.
Maybe that's the comics explanation why the Cream can hold Big in Sonic Heroes, I guess. Because
Maybe.
Froggy wasn't there at the moment.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe
That's the weird. That's the weird thing is Big is canonically 616 pounds. So how fucking heavy is this frog?
Or maybe it's just a Monty Python joke, where he eats all that food, but only the last chocolate mint makes him explode. Maybe that's the thing. They can just barely hold on to Big, but the one frog is
it's
just Happens to be
Yeah.
the villain.
Yeah, it's that gag in like other bits where it's like, oh, they're trying to hold like so much weight, and then they drop like a feather or something, and like, yep, that does it, and then they fall to the ground.
Maybe that's
Here's the
why
thing.
I was going to say,
So-
maybe that's
sorry.
why Froggy was so hard to catch in Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, I guess so.
Absolutely very dense. And here's to make it even weirder, Rouge has absolutely no problem lifting Omega, who weighs almost 3,000 pounds. So even if we like kind of round up Big's weight a little bit, that frog is still like at least 2,600 pounds.
I guess eating that emerald really put some pounds on him.
Yeah, I guess so. Those emeralds are dense.
Very dense.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Rouge was just having an off day and just didn't feel like actually
Yeah.
trying to lift big.
Yeah, she's only pretending to help.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't actually care.
Yeah. She doesn't give a shit about Big. I mean, how else you would explain why she didn't beat him up in Sonic Heroes?
Because they never met.
Yeah, because
I mean,
never
they
met.
met in
Yeah.
the last story.
Oh, yeah, true.
But yeah. Yeah, Team Sonic and Team Chaotix never crossed paths until the end. Same with Team Dark and Team Rose.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting for Team Sonic and Team Chaotix to cross paths because we could have had like some kind of reference to Knuckles Chaotix. But
Oh,
nope.
yeah. No, because, yeah, apparent Sega now has this, like, mindset of, like, yeah, we have SVO, Charmy, and Vector, we kind of acknowledge Knuckles Chaotix, but no, these characters are modern Sonic exclusive material because reasons. Yeah. He's dumb.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Not sure why though. At least for me, in the last panel, like, why does it look as though that Chris's dad is going to a funeral?
Well, he was planning to ditch his son in space.
Yeah. It was like, there's the explanation.
That
Unless he was
explains
actually that concerned that he wasn't going to find his son again and just assumed he was already dead. It's like, oh, Chris, you're alive. That's good. Yay. Why are you looking at going to a funeral, Dad? No reason. No reason.
No, there's definitely not a funeral today.
Yeah, so anyway, on a more lighter note, yeah, so like the whole bit where like Lindsay actually fights off with Robotnik and like punches him in the, well, I don't know, she's trying to do like a kung fu move and hits his nose again, but to me it just looks more like she's like just trying to like, you know, honk his nose. Yeah. Nose.
Honk.
Yeah, honk honk. Oh yeah, that does have a honk sound effect in it. I
Yeah.
just realized. Yeah, because yeah, Robotnik's got quite the schnozola in this issue.
Yeah.
Had a lot to suffer through. Yeah, poor Eggman.
But also,
Wow.
this is the first time that Eggman in Sonic X is referred to as Robotnik. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, because that never happened in Sonic X. The only time they mention Robotnik is just whenever they're talking about Gerald Robotnik. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
probably the reason why, because Gerald probably thinks it's Gerald Robotnik. That's why he recognizes Eggman as his master. Even though they
Oh,
never met
yeah.
before. He of course
During
thinks
his-
it's
yeah.
Gerald.
One thing I noticed with the Wicked Sweet Shuttle Shenanigans Part 2 page, the big one page of when the spider smashes its way, its claw into the like sewers and such. And for some reason, the artist has given like Sonic an eyelash.
Yeah.
How feminine.
Yeah, his mascara.
It's like,
Um.
at what
yeah.
moment did he
Oh, now I
suddenly
see
get
it.
fabulous?
Yeah.
The hedgehog's fabulous.
That's obviously why Emil had like the massive like camera thing device coming out of his chest. He was ready to take snapshots. You guys look
Sonic's
fabulous,
just
Sonic.
gorgeous.
And he's supposed to be crossing his arms, but it looks like he's just doing Wakanda Forever pose.
Yeah.
Also, what is up with Chris's hair in that panel too?
Oh, which panel?
The one where Sonic has mascara on.
It's
It's just funny just seeing how like Tails is just like looking like just...
I think what I liked is in the panel where all the humans have been lifted off, as Rouge was lifting up Toadbaz, it looked like she's dabbing.
Yeah, yeah, you did mention that. That's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, now I see it. So, oh yeah, another neat detail I liked was, once Robotnik throws like a net to trap Chris's parents to stall them, and then he like tells his robots like, "Oh, fire up the egg carrier and whatnot," and he just pulls out a bunch of keys with like a bunch of Eggman faces on it. It's like, yeah, that's definitely a Robotnik moment there. Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
His own special key covers. Yeah, comics and wonder why that's never been like an official merch. Because yeah, I can imagine that being official. Yeah.
I mean, probably because they don't think that would sell very well.
Maybe because with like key fobs these days, being different.
Yeah. But even with like house keys or whatever, I don't expect there's a huge market for people wanting to buy Eggman key covers.
Well, hey, you never know. Like, don't underestimate the power of the Sonic fan base and its desire.
Yeah, I mean, we did get the Sonic toaster made, so
yeah.
I still love that. I got mine. I used it once.
Whenever it says Sonic, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'd use it more, but I neglected it for so long that it got very dusty, and now it just smells very bad when I use it. And I'm not sure how to clean a toaster, because notoriously, I mean, obviously I wouldn't plug it in to do it, but notoriously they don't do well with water.
Yeah. I mean, you could give it to Mario. He kind of seems to know a thing about toasters. Yeah. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yeah.
Well, in the YouTube
And that thing is
today.
that. And he knows a thing, and that thing is that they toast.
Of course.
Which isn't even true.
Oh yeah, I guess we probably should mention before I forget, but yeah, with the first issue we covered, this pretty much starts like this introduction of this whole running gag or something about Bo-kun being so addicted to sugar, and it's kind of weird. I guess it's like, oh, let's try and do something with this guy that they don't do much with him in the show, but yeah, outside of the exploding TV gag.
It's something.
So,
It
yeah.
fits with his personality, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, him acting like a kid and whatnot, despite whatever the hell he's supposed to be, like this flying imp robot thing.
Kind of random and unexplained, yeah. So, sorry.
I do find Amy a bit strange at the end when she's trying to do the shrug, doing like "we'll never know." It's like, I don't know. It's like she's saying like flames outside of my head.
Oh yeah, because like she's like completely zoned out there. There's flames on the side of my face.
It's very interesting art style, yes. Very interesting.
Yeah, and then Cheese is just like, what the fuck you on about, Amy?
Cream looks very concerned, yeah.
Yeah. Amy's had too much cake, yeah.
Shows a lot of pictures of characters zoning out like that.
Yeah.
Probably a compilation somewhere of like Sonic characters zoned out in Sonic X.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, also looks demonic in the last panel. Does that pupil?
Now that I look at the last panel, like, what is going on with Tails? Like, his eyes are looking at, well, clearly not at Sonic, but...
Oh, God!
Yeah. I mean, yo, with
Damn,
Ella!
Ella!
So... Damn, Ella, you're thick!
And she's like, don't I know it? I don't know why I made her slightly Italian, but, you know, whatever.
Maybe she's half Italian on her father's side.
Yeah, maybe she's.
Yeah.
Tails and Sonic appreciating Ella's assets.
Yeah. Giving her the thumbs
Tails,
up.
check these out.
Yeah, it does look like he's pointing at Ella's boobs there.
All of that into consideration makes it possibly the most unintentionally funny thing in this entire comic so far.
Yeah.
'Cause she looks so proud of herself.
Yeah, oh, check out these mommy milkers here. Yeah. Oh, great, even I can't do the right bit.
I think Chuck is also staring at her, isn't he?
Yeah, hit with a chin.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, my.
That expression though, just like
Yeah, it's like, now we know why Robotnik was really addicted to Ella in that one issue.
Yeah.
And Big's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, Big's looking at her too.
Yeah, like Amy's kind of looking over there too, yeah.
Froggy's like, damn.
That's why Leisure Suit Larry showed up. He inspired everyone.
He heard Ella was here.
Mr. Thorndyke's proportions looked a bit strange.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got a very small head.
Yeah.
Mr. Tanaka's sick of this shit.
Yeah.
Lindsay's like, you better not be looking at Ella. And he's like, I'm looking at Ella.
Yeah. And so the day is saved thanks to Ella's knockers.
Oh. Thankfully, Elisa's nice.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she'd be. Elisa's not amused to like hard on that. Yeah.
Well, if you look at Cheese, he got no pupils.
Yeah, he looks very demonic.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
zombie cheese. Yeah.
Like,
I can't tell if it's because like his eyes are half closed and he's staring at Chris, or if he's actually just looking at Nelson.
Yeah. Oh
He's
yeah,
looking
like
up.
trying to look up. Yeah.
Because he does have blue eyes, so maybe that's he's just looking up.
Oh yeah, probably.
She's just looking at Ella's boobs, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone is except Cream.
Yeah. She's too young to get into that. Like, why is everyone staring at Ella? It's like, oh, I'll tell you when you're older.
Also looks like Rouge is going to make a grab at Amy.
Yeah.
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 Jesus Christ.
You're making a grab at Amy. Yeah, and thus the Rouge Amy shippers rejoice.
I suppose we should at least thank Tim Smith III, or Tim Smith III, for the drawing, the artwork. That gave us such a big laugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't see
Wow.
that.
Yeah, we really milked out that whole panel for so many
Jesus.
jokes. Yeah.
It just started with Tails generally looking in Ella's direction, and we found a way to incorporate every character into this headcanon.
Except for Topaz.
Except-
Yeah. She's
Uh,
kind of like,
Topaz isn't. Yeah, we can't tell where Topaz is looking.
yeah.
Topaz, he was.
Her eyes are too small to see.
Yeah.
I think he's just looking at us disappointed. Just like,
No, that's Tanaka. We're talking about Topaz.
okay,
Yeah.
sorry, Topaz. Oh, right,
Yeah. I don't know. In some ways, it kind of looks like she's looking at Sonic. Maybe like,
Okay.
haha, you're short. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's got the just how the way that her eyes are drawn. It just looks as though she's like, being like, "What am I doing here?" Sort of expression with those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
those
I'm
soft
still
eyes.
here.
And Tanaka is looking directly at us, saying, "You see her boobs, don't you?"
I
Yeah,
just
you know you
forgot
want
him
it.
being more
Can you imagine Tanaka going like, "I'm not paid enough for this shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's his mood, like all of the time. And yet, he always goes above and beyond anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, he just shows just how loyal he is, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Should we should probably call it a night and not keep like
Yeah.
everyone else awake.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think we spent
Yeah.
almost 10 minutes on that whole panel alone.
But it
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
a
we just
beautiful
had-
panel.
We had to milk it for
Yeah.
everything it's worth, yeah. And not not the other way.
Damn it, I just thought of a joke too. Like,
Fine, let's finish
Just
on
say
it.
it, get out of the way quickly.
okay, so you know, Cheese's little ball thing seems abnormally large in this panel too. So
I thought that was a button that Mr. Thorndyke had.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah,
believe you, look.
with Cheese's ball thing being that big, it's like, okay, now we really know that he's looking at Yeah. Yeah, like, oh yeah, the hard emotion, like, yeah, that's one thing. But if they're like enlarged, it's like, yeah, that's how you can tell that Chow is horny.
Thank goodness
night,
Elisa's in
everybody.
here. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Cheerio.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
Oh,
goodbye. And at least next time we'll do 2 issues again. Yeah.
yeah. For our sakes. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Toodaloo.
Goodbye.
Cheerio.
sign off.
Boops.
I don't have a signature sign off phrase yet. I keep.
Oh, that's predictable!
Yeah, we're all going to bed with special Ella pillows.
Yeah,
I'm just
real
wondering
excitement
if
indeed.
Still left that in.